Another stream. Another situation where I don't put the pop filter at the beginning. How embarrassing. Okay. Is everything on? Yes. It feels like it's been a while, but apparently it's only been 2-3 days, something like that. Kook Egan, whatever that means. That's who we're versing. You know what I've been thinking when it comes to these chess things? Should I put a timestamp in the VODs? Where I'm like, this is chess, so people can skip it. Is there anyone who even watches the VODs? Or is it just me? When I'm going back to see the things I said last stream. I guess this Kyle Entertainment. That's one person. I did also look at my score over time. Oh my god. Already getting notifications. Yeah, I looked at my score over time, or ELO rating, or whatever this is. And you know what? It actually hasn't gone down that much. I think we started at like 280 or something, and we're only 265. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, I can't even go there because this is blocking it. I'm so bad at chess. Maybe we should swap these streams to play that Hunter x Hunter game instead of chess. Whatever Meruem plays, you know? Surely there's like a website where you can play that, right? Hmm. This is unbelievably intense. Oh no, I'm an idiot. You can go there. But I am also versing an idiot, so this is great. I think my score's going up today. This is so exciting. I'm definitely going to win this. And they're 277, which means it'll probably go up by like 5, and maybe it'll be 270. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, maybe I'm not winning this, actually. Oh no, my queen. I actually think I've lost. This is terrible. How the tables turn so quickly. My goodness. Maybe the solution is, instead of playing 3-minute games at the beginning of every stream, we play like 15-minute games. And then I'll actually improve, you know? Hey Ari, hello Pruny Baba. Is the Blu-ray footage? Is the Blu-ray footage? Well, I don't know what that means, but... Oh, wait, is it my turn? Wait, I can't even move. Oh my god, I won on time. Would you look at that? I told you guys I was going to win. Okay. Is the Blu-ray footage? I'm assuming you mean what is the Blu-ray footage? And I'm referring to the, not Vinland Saga, Jesus. JJK footage. I thought I put that in the title. I don't even remember. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. Because finally, Mappa has, I guess, continued to overwork the animators and has made even further changes to an episode for a Blu-ray release. So that's exciting. Chess question, what does winning on time mean? It means that the opponent runs out of time and you just win. I feel like that should probably be a draw, but like for some reason it's a win. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Like the time is part of the rules, so it probably should be like that. Can't believe immediately after asking this question, you won on time. I know, isn't that crazy? Yeah. Okay. Actually, what is the title of this? Where do I find it? Oh, it said the Acolyte trailer. The Acolyte trailer. Which we have to watch. That's a Star Wars thing, because Miller the Killer said something about reacting to Acolyte. And also I saw that there was a trailer. My friend sent me a trailer the other day, and I was like, I'll watch it on stream, so we're going to watch that. I should probably wait for Miller if he's going to show up. I don't know if he actually will. He might be asleep by now. But this is what we're watching. Oh my god, it's an alien and a person. That's crazy. What's Star Wars? It's a film franchise created by George Lucas. I think I don't even know the history. I mean, I think like initially it was made with like some studio, but then the rest of them were like made independently by Lucasfilm or something because they had a big falling out. I don't know. I'm not watching anything Star Wars related anymore. Oh my gosh. What turns you off Star Wars? Because I can imagine a lot of humps in Star Wars fans' career where they could probably get off the Star Wars train. Like the first one would be The Force Awakens. Well, I guess technically it could be the prequels and then The Force Awakens and then Rogue One, but I feel like not many people probably jumped off after Rogue One. Then you got the famous Episode 8. And then you have like the actual streaming series, I guess. Like what would have been the worst? Like Kobeni. Kenobi, that probably like turned a lot of people off. Anyway. And of course, the Ahsoka, the famous Mauler video that we reacted to once. And Miller is here. Andor was good enough. I don't want to be disappointed. Rogue One was good. True, I love Rogue One. And I love Andor as well. And I hate Kenobi. I've never seen anything Star Wars except Luke, I Am Your Father scene on YouTube. I thought it was cringe. It's because you don't appreciate cinema like I do, a true intellectual, where I can see the really deep themes and complex narrative that is woven into the Star Wars universe. But anyway, the best of Star Wars is the prequels. Just go watch those first, go watch episodes 1, 2, and 3, and you'll get the gist of like what makes Star Wars great. But enough of the past, right? We're here to watch this Acolyte trailer. Now, what do I know about Acolyte? I know it's do I know anything about it? I know it comes out soon. It was like June or something. Yeah, June 4th. I know there was a first trailer that they released at some Comic-Con or some event that Star Wars did, and I think I did watch it, or I watched like the parts that were out. Like I think it leaked or something, and that looked really good. Like I remember the fighting looked really good, and I think I remember Blindwave saying that the fighting looked really good. So I mean, good fighting could be fun. You know, a nice change of pace from other. Oh wait, am I speeding it up? All the other mid fighting in Star Wars. But yeah, I have high hopes for this thing, so I'm hoping this trailer is actually good. I'm trying to think, have I ever seen any other trailers for Star Wars? I know the Ahsoka trailer, when I first saw it, I think I even tweeted this out, that it could either be really good or really bad, and that ended up being, I guess the bad side is more what it landed on. Even though I think Ahsoka overall is good, I think that trailer, my impression of it, the bad element of it, kind of is what the show became. So I'm going to lean on exactly what my impression is here. If I think it's good, then the show's going to be good. If I think it's bad, I'm just going to say it and the show's going to be bad, all right? But we'll see. I did not like the prequels. Empire Strikes Back. Oh my god, I just lost my place I was reading. Oh my god. Strikes Back was the Star Wars movie. well, the prequels are better. Episode 2 is the second best, and episode 3 is the best. Empire Strikes Back is probably better than Phantom Menace. I can probably agree with that. It should come out May 4th. If you know, you know. Yeah, why isn't it coming out May 4th, I wonder? I'm sure there's probably something else, right? Something obvious that I'm forgetting. Is there anything else in the Star Wars pipeline that I'm meant to be keeping track of? I have no idea. Is it going to be The Mandalorian Season 4? Oh my god. Don't the prequels suck? Isn't there a 1,000,000-hour YouTube by Red Letter Media about how the prequels suck? Yeah, there is like a 1,000,000-hour Red Letter. Apparently, well, okay. Let me say my thing first and then give it the caveat. There is like a Phantom Menace, like, Plinkett Reviews thing. But apparently there's one for like all the prequels that I just didn't know about. Phantom Menace. Menace. Yeah, this thing is like part 1 of 7 or whatever. I guess it's not really that long if... Yeah, it's like an hour long. Which I remember watching this a long time ago and thinking was funny, but also a lot of like really dumb criticism. But the one thing I remember is just how like Qui-Gon isn't a character because he doesn't like do anything, I think. Maybe it's been like 8 years or whatever since I saw this, but I remember just thinking it was a pretty dumb criticism, but it was funny at least, which is, you know, all you want from YouTube videos. They are so bad, it's fun to watch type of movie. See, that's the difference. I don't know if there is a like distinction to be made between a movie being good and a movie being fun to watch. I think if a movie is fun to watch, it's a good movie. So I don't know. But then I'm sure you can probably find some example where I've like disagreed with that if you go back to my digest from like talking about things. Anyway, I don't know what Ahsoka is aside from the name of a famous Indian warlord who converted to Buddhism. That's exactly the Ahsoka we're talking about. Anyway, I want to watch this trailer. I'm excited. I don't even know the premise of this. Like I know, actually, no, I know some things. I think it's set in the past. I don't know how far in the past. And I know it has to do with Jedi. That's basically it. Anyway.
Close your eyes. Your eyes can deceive you.
True. This looks good so far.
We must not trust them.
Wait, isn't that a... No.
Tell me what comes into your mind.
Life. Balance. I see fire.
It's the acolyte, I'm assuming. Yeah, I've seen this.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
What happened?
It's like a famous actor, right?
This isn't about good or bad. This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
What is that?
Okay, firstly, I don't know who this person is, but I keep thinking it's Donnie Yen for some reason, and I'm like, how can that be? He was already in Rogue One, so I don't know who this is, but he looks so familiar. Anyway, other than that, this looks really good. Like, this looks like surprisingly really good. Like, to me, this looks like the best stuff from any TV show, just based on the stuff we're seeing, I guess. But maybe it is because it's about Jedi and I like Jedi. Like, that's really the only thing I care about when it comes to Star Wars, so that could be why. Just trying to think. Like, there was this one... Okay, let's go to it. There's one shot where I'm like, this is actually going to be very good. Is this terrible shot? That made me think this might actually be good. Wait a minute. Look at this.
It doesn't make sense.
Like, it's an obvious VFX shot. The actual, I don't know, the effects don't look good at all. But it just looks cool. And I'm like, this is actually really interesting. I'm interested as to what the show is going to be, if they're going to have kind of wacky visuals like this that don't look very good. But actually very good. Now, I don't think that makes any sense whatsoever, but it actually, that's what I'm thinking. Like, this is exciting. What is there? The fighting looks very good. Like, I assume there's like some, maybe the director is like an action person, or maybe they just have a very good like stunt choreographer or whatever. Or action choreographer. I don't even know what you call those people. It looked really good. What else was there? A lot of lightsabers. You know, I just love lightsabers. This was probably the coolest visual. The running in the... It's a burning forest?
This isn't about good or bad.
That looks cool. This just looks like it's from The Mandalorian. Like, that's a cool shot. Like, I don't think there's anything in this that stands out as bad. Now, just to point out something to compare it to... Trailer 1 for Obi-Wan. I think it's this trailer. Let's watch this, alright? Wait. Where is it? This isn't the trailer, is it? I don't remember this music. Trailer 2, maybe? Is it the same trailer?
Stay hidden, or we will not survive.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Like, it's like the... Maybe it is the fact that this hasn't referred to anything, like, in the actual Star Wars canon, whereas this is immediately, like, referring to things, and it's kind of cringe when they're doing it, you know? But that's not even my criticism I'm trying to get to. It's something that the Grand Inquisitor says.
He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places. I want every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze him. You can't run all we want! You can't escape him!
No, I'm not even getting it, but I don't know. Like, there's a lot of uses of the same sets. Like, you can tell it's a very small scale show. The colors are bland. Like, I don't know. To me, this is like a trailer that just does not appeal the show to me whatsoever. Whereas this one has like so many different places, so many different characters. Visually, it looks really good in some scenes at least. Like this, I guess it's just even the colors of this scene just look so vibrant. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, has anyone actually said anything about this? I don't know. Ahsoka. Oh, hey, Trinity. Wait, Trinity from The Matrix? Who is she? Is she like the acolyte? Did I completely miss that? I'm really bad at picking out actors, alright? I mean, that's not Trinity. And I also assume this is the acolyte? Wait, where are they? I mean, that's not Trinity, right? Well, I'm not going to pick her out. This is why I'm not a reaction channel, right? I don't pick out these details. He's the guy from Squid Game. Oh, is that who that is? Where's his face? Oh my god, where's the face? Oh, yeah, that's definitely the guy from Squid Game. Squid Game actor guy. Actually, yeah, I mean, to me, this looks just like him. It better be him. It better not be someone else from a Squid Game. To me, this looks exactly like him. Am I crazy, or didn't he kill himself or something? Or am I thinking of someone else in like Korea? Wasn't there? No, it must have been like some other show. Or was that Parasite? Oh my god, I don't remember. There's no way. I feel like it would have been bigger news if he killed himself. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just mixing that up with someone else. Straight from Matrix is the guy from Squid Game. Plo Koon is in that shot. Oh my god, I'm just so bad at reacting to things. I didn't even notice it. Plo Koon? Where the hell is he? Like young? Oh my god, is that Plo Koon? He wasn't in the first scene and I just missed it, was he? Wait.
Your eyes can deceive you.
Okay, no, we don't see him yet.
You must not
Oh my god, is that
trust
Leia? She has the Leia hair. Isn't that crazy? Or I guess I don't know. I was gonna say, is this Leia's grandmother or something? But that doesn't make any sense. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff in here that I don't recognize. Is this meant to be Chewbacca? I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. In an age of light? I guess that is also an interesting, fun thing to do a story at the peak of like the Republic. But goddamn, another damn snow planet. Really? What a surprise. I'm assuming that's the one shot of Plo that I somehow just managed to click on and see. I don't know if there's another one, but anyway. He's the guy from Squid Game. Plo good is in the shot. Bad VFX equals good show. I don't know how to say this, but yes, that is true. Yeah, the bad VFX make this a good shot and make this a good show. I don't know how else to say it, right? Andor had a similar thing. There were some scenes in that had bad VFX, but my god, was it a great show. And I don't know what to say, but seeing this one thing here, it just proves to me the show is going to be good, right? Just seeing this one shot. Obviously, the show's going to be good because look at this shot right here. I don't know how to explain it, but it is what it is. And also the one where they got like all the lightsabers and it's just like episode 2. Oh my god, how cool is this? See that? All the Jedi are like running. Isn't that crazy? And all the lightsabers are there. How cool. This is an exciting show. I think he means it indicates a big scope. Kind of. I don't know what to say. It's you know what, let's not focus on this. It's just good because it's bad. That's the answer there. But also, yeah, the show does seem to have like varying like sets and stuff, and it seems to be much bit grander than Kenobi or something. So I don't know. That's what I like about it, and the action, of course. That's not Trinity. Oh no, I said that so many times. I don't even know who you're referring to. All right, confirm this for me. Is the acolyte Trinity? Is that what you're saying? Isn't Trinity she's the woman from Jessica Jones, right? Like that's who am I thinking of the right person? Like she's not black, right? And there's like 2 black women here. Or was there like a new Matrix that I didn't see? I don't know. It's like, I know there was the new one, like the Resurrection or whatever. Was there like a young Trinity in that? I don't know. But yeah, the show looks cool. Lots of different Jedi characters will be nice. Absolutely. See, I love what are all the Star Wars shows? Am I like forgetting something? Has there been one about Jedi? I mean, Ahsoka like is barely about Jedi, but I mean, well, there's like 3 Jedi in it is what I mean. Andor, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan again, 2 Jedi, and they barely do Jedi things. I'm just excited for a damn Jedi show, right? How exciting. I love it. I love the Jedi. It's the only thing I care about when it comes to Star Wars, and here we're finally getting a show about it. Who's the showrunner, actually? That's what I'm interested in, because that'll be a big bearing on the quality of the show as well. Star Wars, I don't know how to spell it. Acolyte? The Acolyte. Amanda, why is she listed number 1? Is she the Acolyte? I thought she was like the Sith person or something. Lee Jung-jae. Interesting. Leading roles. Well, that's not what I was expecting. Interesting. Working on the Star Wars franchise in 2019. I don't want to read the premise. Created by... is there like a showrunner? Is that what the created by means? Oh boy. I don't know if I should trust this. This changes quite a lot, right? By April 2020, Headland was attached to write and serve as the showrunner on a new female-centric Star Wars series for the streaming service. And then I'm assuming shenanigans happened. Discussion, filming. I mean, I assume she's still the showrunner? This person? Acolyte. It was officially announced in 2020. So the showrunner for the Star Wars series Disney Plus entitled The Acolyte, which takes place during the final days of the High Republic. Oh, the final days, okay. Oh, the High Republic. That's the books the Blind Wave read. All right, what have they made? Let's have a look. She's known for the play Jesus. And 2012 film Bachelorette. Never heard of it. Sleeping with Other People. Never heard of it. Russian Doll. I think I might have heard of that. Oh, comedy drama? No, absolutely I haven't heard of it. Why was she selected for Star Wars, I wonder? Never heard of these. I mean, at least there's nothing where I'm like, that's obviously bad. Like, I feel like the Kenobi guy had something that was, like, obviously bad in his list, right? Kenobi is, like, my go-to, like, bad Star Wars. Like, this is probably the worst, some of the worst Star Wars I've ever seen. Where's the showrunner? What do they even call the showrunner? On Wikipedia. Was it this guy? Joby Harrell? That sounds familiar. Wait, this is good. I guess The Flash, but he's also just the story writer. Oh no, I haven't even seen The Flash. I thought it was the actual show. Why was I turned against this guy? He makes good stuff. I love Edge of Tomorrow. I love John Wick Chapter 3. Well, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's pretty good. I'm like pretty confident. There was something about Obi-Wan where I'm like, there's something, like someone making it is not very good. I don't know. Anyway. Sure looks cool. Then Punu Baba says no. Miller the Killer, I wonder if they're going to invent a new Sith Master or straight up use Plagueis or his master. I don't know anything about the actual lore of Plagueis. Like the only thing I know really about Plagueis is that he was one of the I don't know what their race is, but the banking clan, like those people. And I feel like he just didn't accomplish much or something. So I don't know. I guess it would be interesting. I guess it would I don't know. I guess I'd be open to having Plagueis in it. It could be mildly interesting. Now that's a Wookiee Jedi. I mean, that makes sense. Chewbacca certainly is no Jedi. Unless he is and he forgot. Wouldn't that be crazy? A scene or two of Yoda. Oh, yeah, I guess Yoda could be in this. And the Jedi Council will be cool, but glad they're not relying on it for marketing. Yeah. I guess cameos could be cool. I am a little bit over cameos. But then when I think about it, some of the best parts of the latest season of The Mandalorian was like that one flashback where or I guess one of the best parts is that flashback when you've got the Jar Jar Binks actor, whatever, being a Jedi, and then you get to see the Order 66. Like, I guess that's kind of fan service, seeing Order 66, but I still like that, so I don't know. A scene or two, I read that already. I think the bad VFX might be the Doctor Who nostalgia. That's very true, triggering the nostalgia. I guess that's possible. Anyway, why are we on the Obi-Wan trailer, the inferior trailer? This looks cool. Nice. Bro, Trinity from the Matrix movie. She's the guy on the left? Wait, is she trans or something? I don't remember. I guess I don't know anything about it. What is her name? Trinity? Matrix? Carrie Ann Moss? Isn't this who I'm thinking of? 112. I can't even tell. Is this the same person? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it is, but I just can't tell. She's the Jedi Force pushing the girl with the knife. I assumed this was the acolyte, and I assumed I would not pick this out as being Trinity from the Matrix. Or what was her name in Jessica Jones? Jessica Jones, Trinity Matrix. This is where I know her mostly from, as the lawyer. I could not for the life of me tell you what the character's name was. Jessica Jones. Oh yeah, Jerry. That's right. This is the Trinity I know, right? Right here. This is my Trinity. Okay. Jesus. you hate clones. I just find them way less interesting than the Jedi. Like, to me, Star Wars is about Jedi. Like, it's the only really real thing I care about it. Now, Andor was good. That didn't have any Jedi or anything, but it's not good because it's Star Wars. It's just good because it's, like, good television. The fact that the showrunner was a big EU fan and even included a character from the High Republic books in the show shows there's some passion behind it. Isn't the High Republic the new stuff? Am I crazy? Or I guess that used to be Legends and now it's, or the EU or whatever. I can't even look into it because I got no idea what to look into. They've carried the franchise for 10 years. That is true, they have. And don't get me wrong, the Clone Wars is great. But, you know, the Clone Wars is mainly great because of, you know, the Jedi. But it's true, the clones have absolutely carried Star Wars for a long time. Hey, Ari, you ever use Blender? I'm making a donut. I used Blender when I was in high school once because I was like, you know what, I should probably, like, I've learned how to make videos, like editing in a linear editor or whatever, or non-linear editor. Let me try and do some 3D modeling and stuff, but I only did it for like a few days and I was like, I don't really care. So yes, I've used Blender. No, I don't know how to use it. So there you go. Stream lagging for anyone else or just me? Oh, it's a shame. Person, not guy. Okay, that makes way more sense. My stream's fine, Miller. That's relieving to hear, Heath. Thank you. And Heath and Miller is not happy. It's obviously Carrie. I don't know. You know how we can tell? You can't even do this, but I would paste this into like ChatGPT and be like, do you recognize this person? Is this Trinity from the Matrix? And then ChatGPT would tell me. That's how I would see if I'm sane or not. But then they'd be like, sorry, we can't identify people because of our ethical guidelines or whatever. That's obviously Carrie. Well, she's read books from both continuities, was my point. Yeah, cool. I like it. You know what? I've seen nothing. Yeah, I've seen nothing about the Acolyte that concerns me at all. I've never heard a bad thing about it. The trailer looked good. I remember the first trailer I saw, which had a scene from... Maybe it was this trailer, because I remember the fight scene in the bar or what... I don't know, it's a bar, but I've seen this scene before. Like, this looks really good. Just fighting-wise, it's really cool. It's not a bar, is it? It's just an empty room. But this looks great. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this show. Miller has sent a trailer reaction from Star Wars Theory. Oh boy. Oh no.
My issue with this scene right here. All right. Way too many humans in one frame. In each frame, you gotta have a...
I can understand this criticism, right? I will say, when I was watching the trailer, I didn't say it because I just forgot to say it, but it is cool to see aliens actually mixed in and like the classic aliens from like Star Wars into these kids. But obviously he's not happy there's not enough or whatever, but it looked cool to me.
Aliens. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not a single alien in this frame.
Can deceive you.
I mean, the master himself. There you go. There's one alien. But I'd say it's got to be like 50-50, bro. Like, this is...
He's truly a progressive. I completely agree. But I know this is like a meme or whatever, but I actually agree with him. It is like, you want the otherworldly nature of this story, right? Like, you would want to see aliens in every shot. But there's obviously enough in this scene that I noticed it and thought it was cool, so... Classic Star Wars theory.
Oh, it's going to turn into a bricks and screws situation.
Trust them.
Not enough aliens! Yeah, you're damn right. Not enough aliens.
I love his confidence.
Okay. Is that a guy? What, one guy? One guy in this frame?
Oh, Jesus. All right. Whatever. Classic Star Wars theory. Oh my god, I have so many alarms going off. I forgot I was streaming this late. Wait a minute. Got to do my daily leet code question. Crazy. I realize background music is way more important than I previously thought to a YouTube video. Yeah, it is. If you want evidence, go back to, you know, classic. Lead RE. Video 1. No background music. It's so old it doesn't even play.
Mouth wide open, with a blank, almost trance-like expression on his face. We then see Armin excitedly run
Isn't that great? How engaging. Versus, like, what's something with music? I guess the latest... No, this one, Attack on Titan. And for others, it will be the mysteries and plot twists that will stand the test of time. The colossal and armored titan. Look at that, the emotion. My god, just from the music. It carries my videos, alright? This being the most aliens we've gotten in ages makes it funnier. Yeah, I guess, sure. You can never satisfy Star Wars theory, which is a great thing, all right? He's always striving for a better story, which is what you want to see in the fandom. Like a lot of your videos have the same tone of voice as your streams and structure, but I finally pieced together the music is the missing piece. Probably also the narration. I don't think I narrate things the same. Like I could I don't even know if it's a script off my top of my head. Throughout Attack on Titan, one memory is constantly resurfacing in the narrative. This memory is a key source of motivation. Blah blah blah. Same for other YouTubers, true. Maybe they'll use this show to continue retconning episode 9. Oh boy, I don't even... Is there like retconning discourse in Star Wars? I don't even know what it is. What have they retconned about episode 9? I guess the fact that... Where does like Snoke come from or something? I don't know. Maybe they've like gone into more depth on that because of Mandalorian or something? I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like I'm slightly out of the loop on Star Wars lately. Because I think what it is, well, firstly, Bad Batch. I haven't seen Bad Batch yet, but I think it's the fact that I'm binging series these days, where I like wait for everything to finish and then I watch it. I guess Ahsoka, I was kind of in that, but that kind of takes me out of it because I'm like I don't get to witness the discourse around it, which kind of makes me feel like I don't know too many of the things that were discussed when the show was airing. But that's like a thing generally, not just Star Wars, I guess. He goes on to pull up the Attack of the Clones clip of the younglings to prove his point, but changes subject when it becomes clear there's barely any aliens there. Classic Star Wars theory. My god. There's got to be a name for that type of, like this type of creator, I guess. Like, surely there's other, like you could, is there a Star Wars theory of like the MCU or something? I don't even know how to describe him, but he's like this, he's this unique thing, but he's like, I'm sure he's not unique. That's the point. I don't know. What a guy. I have a question. Don't those videos get copyrighted for using those music? I don't understand how any of AniTube makes any money off YouTube at all. Well, it depends. Like some songs get you blocked, which means you can't do it. Some songs will get you monetarily claimed, which means that all the money you make will go to the creator of the song instead of you, or I guess the owner of the copyright of the song instead of you. Some of them will get a split revenue where it's like you get half the video's revenue and the copyright owner of the song gets the other half. And some of the songs you just like can use and they get matched, like they get detected, but you're allowed to like make revenue off it. And some songs don't get matched. And that's the most dangerous situation to be in, because at any moments in the future, the copyright person could claim that their song is like theirs, and then you could just get your video blocked. So whenever I upload a video, I make sure that before I start editing around the music, I upload the video and check the copyright status. And if it is detected and allowed, then I upload the video. Like for instance, this one, which I didn't expect to get this many views. This is split revenue. Like it is, they claimed it. You'll probably see, oh, you don't actually see it. Interesting. Because usually you'll see the actual song that's like claimed here. So like half the revenue goes to them and half goes to me. I don't even know if it's exactly half, but it's something like that. Wonder if this one in an effort shows it. Interesting, it doesn't show it. Maybe it's gone somewhere else that I don't know. Somehow Palpatine returned. Yeah, I mean, it's not really retconning, right? You're just like adding detail to it. I guess retconning would be explaining something that needed explaining, like that had one explanation, but you're kind of changing it. But I guess no, retroactive continuity is really what retconning means, right? So it's like adding continuity where it didn't otherwise exist. I guess it is the definition of retconning, right? Bad Batch and Mando and even Andor in part. Project Necromancer. Sounds familiar. I don't remember where that comes from. Like, I don't know, it's probably from Andor or something. I don't remember Andor having... Did Andor have anything about Palpatine? Palpatine was almost in Andor, and I was excited to see that. So you privately upload first and see what the claim is. Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, you're just risking editing an entire video and then finding out that, like what are you gonna... Like, it's just blocked, and you're like, damn, I have to edit it all over again. So when it's like essential. I made that mistake once and I never made it again. It was this video here, where I went scripted, recorded audio, edited audio, edited video, added music to the video, like edited around the music when I was actually editing the video. Did all this, and this wasn't a music issue. This was the entire point of this video is about one scene. It's this argument scene between Paul and Rudy, right? Like it's this argument. And it turns out this scene is claimed. You can't make videos about this scene because as soon as you do it, it gets blocked worldwide. So yeah, and I never wanted to do it again. So this took me like, I had to trim it down and get rid of things and extend certain scenes. And that took me like maybe 4 or 5 uploads of the video before I could do it. And if it were up to me, like if I did it the way I do things now, I would have like just scrapped the video idea because I'd be like, there's no way I'm going through the effort of like re-editing this and re-editing this to kind of get it to be accepted by the copyright detection or whatever. Like all these videos afterwards, I made sure that before I uploaded them, they were like tested for, before I edited them, sorry, that the any key scenes or any like audio that I use are tested to pass like the copyright check. Anyway. I realize how good music from games like Plants vs. Zombies is. Is that what that means? PvZ, Plants vs. Zombies? They fit in the blank space between points where you have more picks for music. They fit in the blank space between points where you have more picks for music. Sure. I guess. I'm not much of a gamer, you know? I don't know any game. I guess I played Stray. That's like a single player game. The doctor they killed in Andor. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Who had the ability to do cloning. Very true. Oh wait, no. I was thinking of the Mandalorian. Who's the doctor in Andor? Andor doctor character. I don't know. I don't even remember a doctor. Yeah, this is who I'm thinking of from the Mandalorian. Was he also in Mandor? Wait, not Mandor. Was he also in Mandalorian? I mean, Jesus Christ. What is going through my mind right now? Is he also in Andor? Maybe I forgot. Anyway. Who had the ability to do cloning? Necromancer is the project to clone Palpatine. We'll see about that, alright? Hasn't been confirmed yet. Or unless it has and I just forgot. Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies. Also, Undertale and just indie games have really good blank music as well, as I like to call them. They become the background noise for your video, basically. True, we love that. We love when things produce a soundtrack that you can use. It's great. Or true, I'm thinking of Mando. Hell yeah, look at that. My Star Wars knowledge, unparalleled. Anyway, this was The Acolyte. 6 million views in, what, a few days? 20th? What's today? The 21st? That's pretty good for Star Wars, right? Does Star Wars still get views? #1 on trending. Oh my god. A bunch of... Is this MKBHD? Mr. Beast? I've seen this video. Play, we got some jokes. Yeah, we got some other jokes. Oh, we got the same joke. Oh no, it's a different one. I guess it's a variation of the same joke. Oh, look at this. Close your eyes. What do you see? Another close. Is this like a... Did someone challenge them to like... At the end of the video, does it say, please leave your joke about the close your eyes? I guess not. Close your eyes. What do you see? I see my mother researching spiders in the Amazon before she died. Guys, this is an epic Madam Web reference right here. We love Madam Web. I'm sure the Star Wars channel is very happy to see all these joke comments below. Yeah, I guess that's The Acolyte. I could look up... I could watch the Blind Wave reaction right now if I wanted to. Wouldn't that be exciting? I'm nervous for this new era of Star Wars. No more clones means no more reliably solid content. You should be excited because the backbone of Star Wars is the Jedi, and that's what we have, alright? I guess it is interesting. We probably are, like, I assume... I don't know anything about Bad Batch Season 2 or Season 3 or whatever, but... Is it Season 3? Yeah, it is Season 3. But I assume that'll be the final, like, clone-focused show, like, surely. Oh my god, it's that character from Freerun that I haven't met yet. But she does the pose that, like, everyone draws on Twitter. It's crazy. Anyway, Freerun soon, alright? I have to start that show soon. The Acolyte trailer. Hype, hope, or bad feeling about this? It's both hype and it is hope as well. Alright. What did I have to talk about? Oh, yeah, we did the Acolyte trailer. Oh, the other thing, I can't show footage sadly, but there was a the Jujutsu Kaisen Blu-ray. Can I even go? I don't want to get spoiled on the subreddit. Surely there's a. Where else could I watch it? Anyway, I can't show the footage, but JJK, I think for their Blu-ray, someone can correct me. I'm sure you guys know better than me. The Blu-ray release of like season 2, they added scenes to the Maharaga fight with Sukuna. And that was famously the episode where one of the animators came out and said that they accomplished 30% of their vision or something like that. So now everyone is like soying out about, or not soying out, what's like the word for this? It's like the discourse gets dominated by people referencing that tweet, kind of. Which is a bit annoying, you know? Like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, anyway. But my thoughts on it, I actually wrote it down. What did I say? I know generally, like I've seen, I don't know if I've seen all the changes, but I saw like a 3-minute long video or something of all the changes. Firstly, I'm interested, like, how do they add so much to an episode? Like, do they cut other stuff out? Or is it purely because it's a Blu-ray release and it's not like streaming, not streaming, it's not airing like live. Can they just like extend the runtime? Is that like a thing they can do? What is it? Because yeah, it was like completely original stuff. But they did, yeah, generally I think there's like some improvements and some downgrades. Like generally there's a lot of like, there's a lot of cool new like fight choreography and stuff and animation, which I think is good. I loved how they incorporated the, oh, I can't even look it up. IMDb, JJK. I loved how they incorporated the falling plane into the actual fight, because that was a little of it was a strange detail to actually have in the episode, where out of nowhere you have this plane that's been like chopped up by Sukuna or just like falling down, and you're like, why is that happening? And it kind of doesn't get integrated into the flight in any way. Whereas in the new editions, they actually fight in the plane and stuff and like chop it up. I thought that was really cool. And also the adding the animation to the scene where Sukuna is like pulling his bow back or whatever. Like, I don't know what you call that. He had some name, or like Fuga or something. But in the actual original, it's quite choppy, and they've added to make it like more animated. I think that's a good change. But I personally, I don't know if it's because it is unfinished still, like maybe they didn't get time to fully complete it, but a lot of the actual action is even harder to follow than it was in the original, which I know people already complained that the original like release, which is like quote unquote 30%, like people think that's hard to follow, but even in this new stuff, I think is personally even harder to follow for some stuff, which bothers me. And personally, there are a few things. The most notable thing I don't like is there's a particular, I wish I could show this, it'd make it so much easier, but there's a particular cut where in the original that aired, where Sukuna and Maharaga are fighting, and I think that's his name, right? Maharaga. He grabs a train and he like knocks Sukuna into it, and Sukuna like goes flying back, and it's like there's not much animation, but it's like a little bit of like cool animation there, like a little bit of cool 3D movement or whatever. And the music matches so well to it, and it feels like a really cool scene. And that was taken out and replaced with more like animation, more movement. And to me, I hate it. Like, it's a thing I've complained about so long about, oh boy, Reddit Slime Season 2 OP2 changes. It's a thing I've complained about the Slime opening for so long, which is that they initially had this really good opening. The first one, which had one cool visual. I mean, there's a lot of changes, but let's just focus on this one. This scene here, you had a really cool visual with like the cool lighting and stuff and purple thing and whoever the hell this demon lord person is, and they replace it with just like movement and stuff and like putting more things on screen, and it's like a really cool like cinematography, like directing and stuff. It just looks cool. Just having a cool static shot is like so much better than having a lot of like really cool movement, which is like technically impressive. Like it's like so cool. How do they do that? Like they animated stuff moving and it like everything's moving on screen. How cool. But it's just like it looks so much better when you just got like this cool like, shot. I don't know what to say. Like, look at this. Like, to me, the top one is obviously better than like having these characters that are technically being animated, and it's like so cool. And now they got more time, they can show things on screen. I prefer the top one where you got nothing, you know. And the same thing happens with this Maharaga fight, where it's like they're adding a lot of movement and stuff, but like, come on, just adding more movement doesn't necessarily make it better. It's like the cohesive vision of the directing that I think makes it better. And then people would say, oh, well, the actual vision of the director wasn't actually incorporated in the original and they had to cut back. And now they're getting to see the full director's vision. To that, I would say, I guess the director never had a good vision and the original one was better. But anyway, generally, it's an improvement. But there are also some drawbacks. So yeah, that's what I would say. Anyway. Clones have been a big part of 2 Star Wars shows ever. Calm down. I mean, one of them is literally called, you know, wait, let's look this up, all right? IMDb. No, Wikipedia. Star Wars media. It's not really film. Star Wars series? Clones. Clone. We got the Clone Wars. I guess it doesn't even say it. So I don't know. We got the Clone Wars. This was like carrying Star Wars for quite a while, but that was like before our time, right? Like before the modern era, right? I guess you could say we had 1 season of the Clone Wars. We had, and that was also a lot. I guess there was a lot of Jedi in that. Rebels had, it had like 1 clone in it, I guess. The Bad Batch is obviously clones, and this is like filled in the space between like there not being movies in the actual Star Wars productions. What am I? There's other stuff as well, right? No, Tales of the Jedi was Jedi. I don't know. For some reason, I do feel like clones are a big part of like modern Star Wars. I guess Boba Fett is also like about a clone, but it's not really clones in it, right? I don't know. I guess it's less the clones carrying things and more like non-Jedi carrying things. You know, like the Mandalorian. Like, I guess it's not a clone, but it's technically like similar to a clone, right? Anyway. Yeah, Clone Wars ran for 10 years. Rebels, yeah, I guess Rebels maybe. There's like 1 rebel in that. There's like one clone in that. I mean, there's a few clones in that. Oh, let's not get crazy, whatever. Bad Batch, true, learn to count. Yeah, clones were a big part of Rebels. So, right, true is what I was just arguing, kind of. And the main premise of 2 films. I guess technically is the Clone Wars movie. What are they the key focuses? I guess Attack of the Clones, I guess technically. I guess that's fair. But they're also not carrying that movie like character-wise. And the main premise of 2 films. No clone has any character in those. No clone has any character in those. So what are you talking about? Remember Commander Cody? When him and Obi-Wan had a relationship? That was a character. It might be small to you, Miller, but he was a character, right? I remembered him. He was the 1 clone I had ever known before I watched the Clone Wars. Like in episode 1 of the first episode, I guess technically, of the Clone Wars, when you they're on like a ship or something, and Obi-Wan is there, and he waves to Cody, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Cody. That's the only clone I know it is in the show. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, that guy I guess carried the clones for quite a while. No clone has any character in those films. Well, the episode isn't extended. The new cuts were meant to be in the final episode, but the final episodes they're mostly replaced by static background shots. Oh, so they're actually like replacing scenes. I guess that makes sense because they did remove the scene of the train and replaced it with something worse. Which sucks, but anyway. Bro, you're so right. I'll calm down. My opinion was so wild and I apologize for daring to express it in conversation. Look at this. We got some fights in this chat. How exciting. The fight is fun to look at. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I haven't seen like whole. I'm interested. Like I do want to watch this new version of this episode in the Blu-ray just to see as a cohesive whole. Like, do I like it better? Because the stuff I've seen is only like it's like out of context. They've all like cut it into like a 3-minute clip of all the new changes. But this episode, I love this episode. So clearly, any changes they make, it's gonna rub me the wrong way because I like this episode so much. So, and even with that, I still think the changes are generally, generally cool, generally better, even if there is significant downside to them. Oh, I forgot to mention when I was going on my rant, the worst example of animation for the sake of animation, and everyone praising it, and I think I've also talked about this on stream before, is like Jiren versus Goku, but I'm not going to be able to find it. It's like Mastered Ultra Instinct. It's like this fight, right? One particular cut. Anime AJ. Are all his old videos up? I wonder. Dragon Ball Super. 130. Maybe 129. Jesus. I'm not gonna be able to find it, but
the throw. The return is as Jiren set back to the height and thinking about choose amazing
Where is it?
lightning of things here and there. The tiny answers to next level reflect dynamic. This is very similar to what we now Toshi
I think it's this. It's this. It has to be. Wait.
Shida. Shida first blew us away with his
No,
anime, but the show was
I love you, AJ, but I'm just here for the cut, alright?
on stills. Thankfully and appropriately, this
looks
last
terrible.
appearance on Super is easily
Wait, is this?
his
No, it's not even
strongest
it.
in
That's
the
not even what I'm
series and
talking
is
about.
far and away the most representative.
No, this
of
looks
his
great. That's not the one I was talking about. I thought it was coming up. Is it this?
thrown in here. More impact frames when he lands.
This is it. We found it, guys. The worst cut in Dragon Ball Super.
Hand-to-hand fight
Wait
scene
for it.
covered in unrivaled smoke and effects work as Jiren is launched into the sky.
I think it's this, alright? See how there's already so much movement that just looks ugly? Wait.
The sky Shida's famous camera work comes into play before even more impact frames when he lands. The movement in this section is absurd.
Terrible. See? I hate that. And here we go. It's still going. I remember when AJ pointed this out, how he's skating on a Kamehameha beat or whatever. Wait.
As Goku rides Jiren's beams, he uses little key balls to facilitate the surf, leading into an almighty clash and some extensive...
Like, it's crazy, right? Like, technically, it's just so difficult and impressive and everything, like, looks so good and stuff. If you pause a frame, there's so much detail. Like, he's even skating on a beam. And then you, like, watch the scene, and it's just, like, a mess of, like, just movement. And, like, there's no interesting anything. Like, it's just a complete mess. And it's like for all the Sakuga people to praise how great it is and how technically impressive it is, and it's just so ugly. But yeah, that's what I would take from it.
As he collides with Jiren, we get even more.
Let's watch it again, alright?
Before the arena erupts, and she does super detailed smoke plumes.
This is great. Look how cool this is. You know, a nice static shot with cool, like, cool directing and storyboarding and lighting and cinematography, and then we get this like mess of just movement everywhere.
Two gorgeous stills feed into a finessed hand-to-hand fight scene covered in unrivaled smoke and effects work. As Jiren is launched into the sky, Shida's famous camera work comes into play before even more impact frames when he lands. The movement in this section is absurd.
Like, you're gonna tell me that looks good? Come on.
Into the sky,
Wait.
Shida's...
Anyway. I'm just saying it because I know a lot of people love this for some reason, especially anime AJ here, you know. Alright. The whole point of the episode was movement. That's what the staff and the viewers wanted. Well, what the staff and the viewers wanted is dumb, alright? That's what I say. If they just wanted movement, then they're pretty dumb. And I mean, they're not dumb. They're just like, I don't like what their decision was, I guess. The fight is fun to look at, I agree. It makes less sense than the manga because the point of the Mahoraga adapts quickly to each attack, but it's still fun. I mean, I got the point of it. Like, I think they portray that pretty well. There's something elegant about it, doing more with less, essentially. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I can agree with that, with the static shots and stuff. And the old Clone Wars equals 4 of the 7 shows Choir Boy. Oh, currently, okay. 8 forgot Resistance. I mean, that is true, but that was also in a time before even the sequel stuff, so it didn't really... I guess it carried Star Wars for a bit, but also not really, I guess. And there were also a lot of non-clone episodes in the Clone Wars, but it was generally a clone-based show, sure. God, this takes me back. AJ becoming one of Mark's ghostwriters was the worst thing that could have happened to him. Probably, yeah. Does he even make videos anymore?
If you head on...
I guess he makes them about as consistently as Kind Entertainment, right? What, once a year? Not bad. Ari, this cut is beautiful. I knew Miller would like this cut. This terrible cut. My god. Unbelievable. It's that Shida style. I don't even know if you're memeing right now. Maybe it is. Maybe you are memeing. Maybe you actually are a fan of Shida. Oh, he's a One Piece guy. Okay. This just makes me want to watch One Piece even less. My god. This one terrible cut. Jesus. The One Piece greatness. That scene is more for other animators to enjoy than the audience themselves, I guess. Lol. I mean, I think there's... I truly do think there's... I'm just built different, you know? There's a lot of people out there who I think enjoy action, which is just like things moving on screen. Like things moving on screen make fighting good. And to me, it's just like, I don't know. I just don't... Generally, I don't value things moving on screen being good. I don't know. I do have to think about it. Like this is I had this on a list of like video ideas from a long time ago, about how good animation doesn't mean good, like visually good or something like that. I don't know. I've had it on a while. It would be talking about this. It would be talking about the slime opening, and it would now, I guess, also be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen whenever that Blu-ray, when I can actually watch that, I guess. Oh boy, we got a One Piece scene. Can't say that it is worse than a good static shot though. It's a matter of taste. Well, yeah, to me, when I say worse or better, that's just like everything is like subjective. Like, obviously, that's what yeah. I should probably stay away from saying like worse or better or like good or bad, but I never will because I just assume everyone agrees with me that it's all subjective. Look at the Sheeta movement in this clip, all right? All right, Toei Animation, please spare me, all right? The last stream got blocked in Russia or something because there was, I don't know, something I played, some song, I don't know, anyway. I mean, firstly, that looked really good. I got no problem with that. This is cool because it's not like rapid, like on-screen movement. Like it's just like, if that's the cut you're talking about, I think that looks really cool. Because you're like slowly ascending up the body of something, right? Oh, that looked pretty bad. But it's not because of the movement, I don't think. It's just like, I don't know. I think the issue here is more about the I don't know why I'm commenting on this. I don't know anything about animation, but it's more about the, what is the terminology? The pacing, like it happens too quickly, right? Like it's a linear, like you're moving in linearly, it should like slow down or something. I don't know how to describe it. Like that was too quick, right? I don't know. I don't know anything about animation, right? But this doesn't look that bad. This is like, I think I like this. Look at the Sheeta movement and the clip. For me, I want things moving on screen, but for every movement to have a meaning, like Turning Point 2 shot with Orsted. Yeah, true. Yeah. I don't know. I would be cautious of making general statements like that because I'm like, I could probably, I agree with it when I'm reading it now, like to say everything should have a purpose. But then that scene itself we just saw with Goku has like everything in that, and every frame in that like scene has a purpose. Like even having Goku skate on the beam using a Kamehameha like little ball thing. So I don't think it's generally the purpose that I have an issue with. I think it's just like, when I look at it, I'm like, ugh, I don't understand what's going on. Make it nice and simple for me, you know, something like that maybe. But also, I guess I do understand what's going on. I don't know. If I knew how to express this, I would have made a video already. But yeah, personally, I don't like the way Ishida cuts look like they're jiggling. I guess I could understand that. You being the most elitist animation fan I've encountered is very funny. Keep it up. Well, you know, I am elite RE, but there's just my one gripe about this one thing that I noticed. How many years ago did this video come out? All right, because anime AJ Super 129, or was it 130? Whatever it is, I think it's 130. All right, I've been holding this thought for 6 years. All right. Finally, I'm letting it out. I've never told anyone before. I remember watching this AJ video and this scene when he talked about it, it bothered me. And I was like, oh, but there's no way I can express myself. But here I am in front of an audience of like 4 people. I finally expressed my disdain for this scene that AJ praises. Anyway, Dragon Ball Super, that was a good time, wasn't it? So much discourse, so much just enjoyment, a great time. I feel like there's some beauty in that linear movement though. I hate how there's always a time slow in these moments. I actually really appreciate that scene for the reason that you didn't like it. Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, people are gonna have different opinions on what they like. But yeah, I can see that. I also don't know the context of One Piece, so maybe in context it could be really good. Yeah, it had unnecessary movement like the head shaking, but it has a charm. All right, well, I'm glad we can all have a nice, peaceful ending to this civil debate. It's Skywalker time, audience reaction. Anyway, that was all my stream topics for today. It's only been an hour. Oh my god, the back burner on my notes here from accumulated over time, and they got much bigger. Anyway. JJK. I wonder if it is. I wonder like what other episodes they've changed, or if there are any, or if it is just like Thunderclap Part 2. Because I feel like if I were to think of the weakest, like production wise, from my memory, these were like great. Dull Knife. Red Scale had like low frame rate at bits, but I feel like it was intentional. So I don't know, maybe you could like smooth the thing. But I also like how it is. I think if it is like an intentional choice, so maybe don't change that. Nothing stands out as like bad. I guess some of the Mahito stuff in this one was a little like not as good as the other stuff, I guess. I remember one of these toward the end, the one where Toto is fighting using his like he's doing the one for all reference or whatever from My Hero Academia. That episode I feel like had the biggest. I think I even pointed this out in my media digest where I think that had the biggest what's the word I'm looking for? Discrepancy between what was clearly the vision and like what actually got shown on screen. I don't know which one it is, but I think it's this one. So maybe that one. Hopefully they like fix that up a bit. But anyway. All right. I guess it's time to watch a 26-minute video on aspect ratio. Let's go, boys.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another Film Editing Pro tutorial. In this video, our trainer Leon is going to dive deep into the topic of aspect ratios. What are the different types of aspect ratios that you can use for a film? Why might you use one over another to tell a story? How have aspect ratios changed over time?
I'm just kidding. My god. But don't worry, every stream will watch a new aspect ratio video, right? I probably should have knocked this one off. Why you should stop shooting videos in 16:9 aspect ratio. Should we just like stick on the JJK discourse and watch why Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 production fell apart from 4 months ago? Should we just watch that by... Wait, is that the same guy? This looks familiar. Why do I recognize this guy? Oh, maybe I've seen one of his... Oh yeah, it's this one. Wait, is this the interview guy? Oh, it is the interview guy. Oh my god. Jesus. With the Enemy video.
Enemy 2.
I watched Enemy. And I think I watched Enemy purely because I saw the thumbnail for this video. Because I've seen Enemy on my list for... I've had Enemy on my list for a long time because it's a A24 movie and the poster looked interesting somewhat. Not the poster, I guess, but the... the Just Watch Enemy 2013. This looked interesting. I was like, oh, look at this. An A24 movie with like a professor like drawing stuff. Poster looks okay. But then I saw this in the thumbnail. I'm like, oh my god, look at that. It's like a spider or something. Isn't that cool? It's like an alien. It's like Cloverfield. So then I watched it. I've never watched you watch an aspect ratio video. What's your take? The meme is that I've never actually watched one. Like, we watched like 2 minutes of one of them, and I was like, this is like, who cares? I don't care. I think my take was that I don't think anyone cares about aspect ratio. Like, I guess to an extent. Like, as long as it's like either square, like perfectly square, or like maybe like 20% in each dimension, I feel like anyone watching a video for like a significant amount of time, like maybe 10 minutes or so, is just not going to care about the aspect ratio by the time they're done. Like, I reckon if you showed someone a movie, ask them like 5 years later, like, oh, what was the aspect ratio of that movie? They're going to have no idea. They're not going to be like, oh, wow, that was like I remember that was a square video, right? They're just not going to care. And that's my take on aspect ratio. But there's a lot of people making arguments about how, oh my god, if it's vertical, then you can't fit in other subjects horizontally, and like it makes it more claustrophobic or something. And I'm like, I don't buy it. So that's my take on it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who disagree with me. I just want to watch stuff how it was originally filmed. Don't care what the aspect ratio is. Well, I think what you're saying is you want to watch it in the aspect ratio that the director envisioned, right? Because I guess how you film it isn't necessarily how it's going to end up. But also then you question, like, when it comes to IMAX, like, would you always watch an IMAX version of something? Or technically, because what do you do in that case? Because like then the director is like, they're directing with 2 aspect ratios in mind, right? Like, would you watch both versions? Like for Dune 2, like you've seen Dune 2, right, Miller? Like, did you watch it IMAX, which is like a different aspect ratio, which like shows more, but might be less of what maybe the author, the director was intending, because they would obviously want to appeal to the mass people, which is overwhelmingly the majority of people are not going to see it in IMAX, right? Or would you want to see it in the non-IMAX version, which is like what the majority watch, but then you're missing out certain details that might be in the IMAX version, right? I will say it's dumb how when you see an IMAX film, the seats in front of you block the bottom of the frame. I had no idea. I've never actually, well, I've never seen an IMAX proper like film, but I think I have seen like a nature documentary or something in IMAX once. And that was like when I was a very young kid. So I don't have much experience with IMAX. But I generally find I'm that's another thing I'm probably controversial on. I know a lot of people. Okay, my controversial take here is that I don't understand why people have an issue with watching something on their phone. Like, your phone is a really high resolution screen. It's like so close to your face when you're watching it that it's literally taking up a significant portion of your field of view. Like, what's the difference between watching a movie on a big screen that's far away versus watching a movie on a small screen that's close up, that's literally taking the same amount of space in your field of view? Like, what's the difference? And it's a higher resolution than like watching it on like a big monitor or TV or something. Like, what's the difference? Like, it's ridiculous to me. I can understand the argument for sound, but then again, if you have headphones, the sound in the headphones are going to be better than the sound anyway. So like, it's ridiculous. Like, I love watching things on my, I was going to say, I love watching things on my phone, but I can't watch things on my phone anymore because when I watch things these days, I have to take notes. So I have to watch it on my computer so that I have like a Word document out where I can like actually type things. But that's the burden of the Media Digest, isn't it? One of the many burdens that come with that series. WA doesn't even have IMAX cinemas. That's pretty funny. I don't know if we have any more now, but at one point there was one cinema in Sydney, which is I don't know about New South Wales, but in Sydney we had one in the city at like Darling Harbour. And I think for like 10 years, like some ridiculous amount of time, it was just closed. And I don't think there was any IMAX. And now I'm pretty sure it's reopened now, but I don't know if there are other IMAX like theaters in Sydney. I got no idea. When they bother filming, when they bother filming for IMAX, they usually prefer it to be seen in IMAX. But that's like, it's so absurd. Like, imagine making a film and knowing that like 5% of your audience over the lifetime of the movie is going to see the IMAX version and being like, oh, I'm going to maximize the IMAX version. That's the one I'm intending for. That's the one I want the audience to see. When like such a tiny fraction of your audience is going to see that. Like, it's so difficult because like you want to make like the best film you can make, especially as a director who's someone like creatively minded and they're like every detail is important. But you know that the majority of the people are not going to see the one that you're like focusing on, which is like, yes, it sucks, you know. Another Western Australia, I'm assuming. True, that's very true. I should watch IMAX stuff, but then I have to go to the city to watch it, you know. Oh god. But I do need to watch Dune as well, you know. I hope that. Oh, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy related to Dune? This movie here, Enemy, directed by the Dune director, Dennis, whatever his name is, Vil something. I couldn't believe it. I watched this movie. I got to like 70% of the way through, and I think I like Googled something about the movie, and it's like directed by Dennis, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the Dune guy. I had no idea he made an A24 movie like 10 years ago. I love watching things on my phone. True, I love it too. My god, that's all I ever used to do before I started taking notes. In bed with laptop is the best way to watch stuff. That's true if you have a surgery and you're like, I'm gonna sit on my bed after recovering with surgery, have a nice laptop on my lap watching a movie. Oh, it's great. Hi Ari, it's Apple. Oh my god, it's Apple. That's pretty funny. I had no idea that was you, and I read your I love watching things on my phone, so look at that. When I saw Tenet in IMAX, there was a personalized message from Christopher Nolan thanking us for watching the real version of the film. I'm not joking. I believe you, Miller. That's the great Christopher Nolan, my god. The funniest like story I've ever heard about Christopher Nolan is, I'm sure I've said this on stream before, or maybe you've like seen it on the Breaking Bad podcast, but it's Vince Gilligan talking about like how they swapped to recording digitally for Better Call Saul, and I think before they like swap, or like after they'd swapped digitally, I think Christopher Nolan like sent Vince Gilligan like a letter or something, talking about how he's so grateful that Breaking Bad is like, they're like one of the only people that are like upholding the supremacy of like actual filming on film, and how like we need to band together and like make sure that the people are still like filming on film, and then they just swap to like digital, and it's just the funniest thing. It's such a Christopher Nolan thing. My God, I love it. Anyway, what a guy. He made Oppenheimer. Isn't that crazy? We think that's a 3 out of 5 movie. Anyway, we got a video essay, 3 minutes, Enemy. I feel like this probably won't spoil things, but who knows. Don't watch it. Don't watch if you have a fear of spiders. Also, this title is a lie, so I don't know what the video is going to be about.
2014 is a mystery thriller movie starring the actor...
2014? Is that what he said? Wait.
Enemy 2014.
2014? Isn't it 2013? It is 2013. What is he talking about? Wait. It's a 2013 film. Oh, I guess in like... Oh, I guess technically like the official release is probably 2014. Oh, whatever.
Is a mystery thriller movie starring the actor Jake Gyllenhaal, and his character in this movie is on a quest to find someone that he's seen in a movie that looks exactly like himself. And for some reason throughout this film, there's a lot of imagery that has to do with tarantulas. The movie starts out with a tarantula scene. More than halfway
Wait, there's like 3 images in this whole movie that have to do with spiders, right?
through the movie, we get this amazing shot of a giant tarantula roaming the city. There is another part that is really unsettling, of a woman walking through a hallway, and then once she gets closer, you notice that her head is the head of a tarantula. None of these things...
Oh, Jesus, I completely missed that. I thought this was a mask she was wearing. I guess it could still be a mask. I don't know.
None of these things are actually happening. This repeated random imagery of tarantulas is a metaphor for something else, which is pretty cool because all over YouTube you can find a lot of theories. The theory that sounds the most accurate to me and makes the most sense for the movie is that the tarantulas represent the way that Jake Gyllenhaal's character actually views women. You know, which also backs up the part...
Actually, views women? I guess. Like, I guess I can see where he's going. I guess this will spoil Enemy. I don't know if I should watch this. Does anyone care about Enemy? I don't know. Go watch Enemy and then come back, alright? Skip like 5 minutes of this.
With the woman that has a tarantula head instead of her real head. I still can't get over that disgusting imagery. Now, with all that being said, I want to go ahead and shift over to focusing on the extremely terrifying final scene of the movie.
The final scene in the movie is the best part of the movie, by the way. It's so cool. Now I feel bad because I'm just gonna spoil Enemy for anyone who's watching. If only I was like Kyle Entertainment and I just didn't care about spoilers and I could just spoil everything. You know what? I'm gonna talk about it. The ending of Enemy. I guess we'll watch.
I'm not even gonna tell you what's gonna happen. So yeah, hope you enjoy.
Helen?
This is the final scene of Enemy. After a long movie, people die, like it's a nice resolution. Someone's like, this guy has taken over the life of his clone and is like gonna marry the wife, or is like gonna live with the wife or whatever, who's like just gone off into this room. And that's the context here. And they're like, it's basically you're in the right at the end of the movie and you think they're gonna just get away and have like a nice happy life together or something.
Helen?
And she just walked into that room.
Helen?
From the sound, from just how realistic it looked, this scene...
And at the end of the movie, it just ends with a giant spider, so yeah. Wait, should I stop watching? This is spoilers. You absolutely should stop watching. Anyway, so I'm sorry for ruining Enemy for you guys, but it is what it is.
From the sound, from just how realistic it looked, this scene really sent a shiver down my spine and made me really itchy. And yeah, my arachnophobia really activated. And to say that if you're a person that has arachnophobia, this scene will probably really do it for you. I mean, the concept of a giant spider the size of the entire room alone is pretty terrifying, but just how it was executed and with the way that the CGI was done just amplifies this scene. Not to mention that I feel like most movies that...
I wonder if you'll explain why. I guess it's like the women, like fear of women or something. I guess I can see where that comes from, but yeah, it's just such a cool scene. What a cool ending to a movie.
Have giant spiders in them, have trouble making it feel scary and realistic and not feel cheesy and just dumb. I think this movie accomplishes making a giant spider be as scary as it truly would be in real life. And it's
like the fact that the spider is also, it's not like attacking, it's kind of like in a corner and it's like afraid as well.
Remember just how tense this part made me feel, as I was also wondering if this spider was going to leap and attack Jake Gyllenhaal, which would have probably caused me to punch my TV. I would also like to say I was a big fan of this movie, and I also thought it was very genius on the way that they used this terrifying spider imagery. All of these spider scenes were equally creative and also terrifying. So I think this pretty much concludes this video.
Wait, did he mention the women thing that he brought up earlier?
You enjoyed it. This has been Absolute Filmmaking. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Until next
Oh, this is a small channel. Okay, we'll give him a pass then. Around the 600 subs. I thought this was like a massive channel.
time, goodbye.
We're gonna watch till the end. All right. Well, I mean, that didn't. There wasn't much analysis in this. I guess the fear of women is the thing I can bring up when I talk about it in the digest, I guess. But anyway, enemy. Am I right? Wait. Oh, is the Book of Boba Fett bad? I wonder. Oh my god, I'm getting even more alarms. Crazy. So who knows? Go watch this channel, guys, I guess, if you like that video. This guy should watch Shrek 4D, where they spray the water on you to make you feel like spiders are on you. Oh my god. Is that the one they do at Disneyland? No, that Shrek's not like a Disney thing. I don't even know. Because I feel like I've seen that. Or maybe I'm thinking of Shrek 3D. But there is also a Disneyland ride that I went on that was like 4D or whatever. Maybe that was Disney World. What's the difference? Why did Dragon Ball's art style change so much? Probably because of different, like... I don't know. What even does that? Like the animation director? I got no idea. The character designer? If James Earl Jones voiced Anakin. That would certainly be interesting. I guess with the rise of AI, we're going to get a lot of these things. Oh, it says not AI. Okay. We are going to get a lot of those things. Movie World in Queensland. Okay, that's probably it. Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I have been to Movie World. The old YouTube is going viral again. This feels like it's going to be the worst video I've ever seen in my life, but we can give it a chance. Is AI art actually considered art? A video essay. Now this is, you know what, in other situations, I certainly wouldn't watch this because, you know, we've engaged with this discourse a million times, probably before I started streaming, right? But you know what, 3 minutes? Why not? Why don't we just watch a video? Oh my god, it's Doctor Who. Did you guys hear the news from, I guess I heard it from Miller the Killer, and Miller's probably one of the only few people here, but Stephen Moffat has come back and he's going to write a new episode of the next season of Doctor Who. Isn't that exciting? Because, you know, all the best Doctor Who episodes are from Stephen Moffat, of course. Actually, I was going to go through them, but I'm like, there's just... I don't know how I'm going to do this, but... Where is it? Look at this. The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances. Fantastic. Where's the season one? The Girl in the Fireplace, 9.2 out of 10. Where is it? Blink, 9.8 out of 10. Silence in the Library, Forest of the Dead, 9.3 out of 10, 9.4 out of 10. Look at that, absolute bangers. And then he took over the whole show and it was never the same again, you know, but he's coming back to make some of the best episodes of television, I'm sure.
There is a...
But is AI art actually art? That is the question. He only put out bangers when he wrote one episode a year, gonna be great. Yeah, I know it's a very common sentiment. And even I, you know, as much as I love the Moffat era and it's my favorite era of Doctor Who probably, even I can admit that the stuff he wrote before is probably singularly better episodes than the majority of the episodes in his run, is what I would say. Like The Girl in the Fireplace is just like as a standalone story is like probably like a 9 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10. It's been a while since I've watched it. And if you're interested, The Girl in the Fireplace, Film Buff. He has a reaction to it. Isn't that crazy? If you want to watch a Film Buff react to it. But aren't you guys excited? Because in a few days, unless he like, I don't know, unless his power goes out or he somehow his computer corrupts itself or he like catches a cold or gets like a vaccine injury or something. I don't know. But unless anything like that happens, Film Buff reactions to Hunter x Hunter, the remainder of Greed Island should be coming out very soon. Anyway, is AI art actually considered art? I think so because, well, it depends on your definition of art, right? But if a person is using AI to make art, then like the result of their creation would be I'd consider it as art. So I guess how could you argue against this? You could say that there's like a million things you could say, I guess. The most the most like base level thing would say that like in order for something to be art, it has to be made by a human. Like the human element is important, but then you would say, oh, but the human is like giving the prompt that will generate the art, and then the person would say, yeah, but it's kind of like taking pictures and like bringing them together. Like, is that real? And I guess they wouldn't say that. What would they say? I don't even know what they would say. How would you argue against that? I don't know anything about arguments, right? Moffat era only had like 2 or 3 years with more misses than hits from him, to be honest. Oh boy, are we going back into this Doctor Who argument? Moffat era only had like 2 or 3 years with more misses than hits from him. If we're talking about the episodes he wrote, I think still generally they're more good than bad, and also some of the best episodes written were like written by him. So I don't know. We could go into it. It'd take a while though, I think. Surely he's lost a bunch of patrons who don't watch Hunter x Hunter. It probably, yeah. But don't worry, he's making it up with what, 5 episodes? No, I think it's now like 3 episodes a week or something. It's meant to be more, but I think he like downgraded it. Yeah. Oh no, here 5 early access episodes for Hunter x Hunter. So that's gone up. Look at this. He's up to Greed Island right towards the end of it, episode 70. Oh my god, guys! Oh, what is this? The next episode of Hunter x Hunter. It's going to be the finale of the volleyball fight. Oh, not the volleyball, Jesus, the dodgeball fight, where Gon does the really cool punch, and then like Hisoka grabs it with the bungee gum, and it's like the coolest sequence in Hunter x Hunter. I've rewatched like just because after I watched episode 70, like his reaction to it, I went back and I watched that scene so many times, and I watched like all the reactions to that scene from all these different channels. I was like, it's so cool. Oh my god, I love it. Like da 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 da. Even the music is so cool. But yeah, he probably has lost a bunch of Graphtreon. He's probably like, the numbers are probably private anyway, but film buff. We can try it out, all right? We can see if we can investigate his channel here. Okay, I guess what is this? The number of paid members? It hasn't really dropped, right? Wait, when's the last time he made actual content, which wasn't Hunter x Hunter? What is that trailer? What is this? Romulus. That looks cool, whatever this visual is. Maybe we'll watch that teaser trailer. Oh my god, it's Razor. Guys, do you think Razor would beat Uverjin or whatever in a fight? Oh my god, isn't that crazy? What do you think about Bisky versus Razor? Who would win that fight? Yeah, when did he start doing this Hunter x Hunter stuff? I guess roughly around 4 months ago. Because, you know, we got Vinland Saga, we got a monster episode. He's still doing other stuff. He Doctor Who. So that would be, what, like, probably somewhere here. You know, he hasn't dropped that badly. I think that's fine. But look at his peak. Probably when he was watching, not Film Buff, Jesus. When he was watching Attack on Titan, I guess. What is this? Ooh, cool lights. Don't breathe. I've heard that's decent. It's pretty loud.
Run.
Ew, spiders. Is this actually Alien? Is that like the franchise? Oh yeah, it is. Oh my god. Well, that looked like the most generic horror action thing I've seen in my life, but you know what? It could be good. This shot looks cool, and they realized it looked cool because they used it as a thumbnail. Everything else looked very generic. But you know what? It's just like the Transformers franchise where it's like, you know what you're going in for. You're watching an Alien movie. Just like, you know if you're going to like it or not before you watch it. Looks good. Maybe I'll watch it. I think the last one I watched was the, I think it's the one after Alien Covenant or something. Alien Covenant. I don't know how to spell it. Yeah, I watched this one and I was like, this was not a good one. Actually, this doesn't look familiar. Maybe it wasn't this one. Maybe it is. I don't know. There was one Alien movie. I had a period where I like binged a bunch and I watched like Prometheus again, and then there was one I watched and it wasn't good, and I'm like, okay, I'm done with this franchise. Anyway. A reaction channel pumping out videos for one series, like 20 uploads in a row, is crazy. It is, but it's also probably a good strategy for like for growth if you're doing it daily, I guess. Like that's how Blind Wave blew up. Well, Blind Wave initially probably blew up because of Game of Thrones, but an additional factor that probably built up their community early on was probably the Dragon Ball Z abridged reactions, because that was a daily thing and people would like go back every single day to like watch that. So I guess daily uploads of a single series are probably good. No other reaction channel just does one series. It's so funny. That actually is pretty funny to think about. There's probably like some really small channel. Probably not though, actually. It's a good, yeah. He has such a, like a specific niche, right? It's like he is the most analytical, right? That's his niche. He takes it the most seriously. God, it's gonna be so... I hope he watches Mushoku Tensei one day. That'd be just so funny to watch that. No other reaction channel does series one so funny. No, yeah. Surely spend your time reading the manga rather than watching the billionth Hunter x Hunter reaction. I've been guilty of this too. No, I have no need to read the manga, right? Maybe when the manga is like sufficiently far ahead, or like when it's over, then I'll read it, but absolutely not. It's the Alien trailer music. I don't know any music from Alien, right? So lower budget, I'm guessing? No idea. I guess it kind of looked like small scale, but then again, the first Alien looked small scale, right? 2024, I'm guessing. What's the budget? Oh, it doesn't say. Romulus budget. Oh, I guess it's not published yet. Wait, is it an A24? Is that what I just saw? Surely not. Oh no, I thought that said A24. Oh my god. Prometheus is a wild movie. You don't know what I think. I love Prometheus. It's probably the best of the Alien movies. All Alien movies. Let's see what I gave it. I think I'd probably give it a 4. It's definitely not a 5. Oh wait, now I have to find it. Oh my, you know what? There's an easy way to do this. Prometheus. Yeah, I gave it a 4. But it was cool. Like I remember liking the directing, the like mystery of it, like the slow kind of burn of it, the visuals of it. Like I thought it was generally a really well-made movie. I wonder what the major criticisms are. I think I originally watched that in the cinema when it came out, actually, and then I like rewatched it a few years ago. Aliens is the best. The Queen is such a sick design. Yeah, I've heard Aliens. A lot of people think that's the best one. Or it's like a traditional example of like, when was the sequel better than the original? And people are like Aliens or Terminator 2 or something like that. But yeah, I like them. I like the first two. They're both very different. Like one is like a suspenseful, like horror kind of movie, and the other's more of like an action horror, I guess. But I like them both. They were fun. The Queen. I don't remember much about the design of the Queen. I remember she was like basically took up like a whole room or something. It was gross. He'd get to Turning Point 2 and take a 4-month break before finishing it. Oh boy. That would be terrible. We don't want that. He might. I could imagine that actually. He'd get to the episode before Turning Point 2, like coincidentally, and then he'll be like, I'm taking a break because I need to like rewatch the whole series before getting to the most important episode here. Teabu has to be more analytical, right? Well, I haven't watched much of Teabu, but the stuff I have seen of him seems more, I don't know, he doesn't seem very grounded analytically. It seems more like artsy analytical, whereas Film Buff seems more like technical or storytelling or not even storytelling, it's conventional analytical, I guess. I don't know how to describe that. He'll go frame by frame through action scenes to count how many frames they're animating. Okay, maybe he wins. I got no. I haven't really. I've only watched like maybe one like full Tibu video. Besides his like video about his cancer or whatever, I saw that one because I was like, did he just lie about his cancer diagnosis? So I watched that one. And also I don't think he did lie. I remember the conclusion I came to is that I don't think there was like a lie or anything. It was like a misunderstanding or something is I think what I came to. I feel like Tibu is more analytical in the sense that he understands the anime medium 100 times more. Yeah, more than Film Buff probably. But Film Buff probably talks more about the messaging and the story arcs. Perhaps. I think it's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a distinction I was thinking, which is that Film Buff is more like storytelling regardless of medium. Like he seems like his name suggests, like film buff. Like he understands like how to make a movie and stuff. And I think he works in like the film industry or is like a contractor or something. So I think he's more of like that side of things and like how do you make something like this? Like he can always see when a story is like foreshadowing something, he can tell by the way it's like done or like how they handle like cuts and stuff. Whereas I don't know that much about Tibu, but my impression is that yeah, he's probably more. I don't even want to speak about it because I haven't seen much about him. So yeah, I feel like in the sense that he understands more anime medium 100 times more than Film Buff. Film Buff probably talks more about the messaging of the story arcs. Yeah. Do you think Film Buff takes a break after reacting and writes stuff down, or rewatches parts of the episode before the discussion part? Yeah, he definitely rewatches. I think based on like a bit of like what I've heard him talk about and speculation, I assume he watches an episode. Like he doesn't take notes because he wants to get the pure, like unadulterated experience of watching something. I'm sure. Then he'll probably go through a second time, take notes, like of actually writing notes, like when he's watching it. And then probably in the edit, when he's like editing the reaction, then he's probably, like as he's editing, he's probably getting more familiar with stuff and he's probably picking up more stuff. And, yeah, I wouldn't be, no. Actually, I don't know. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if he actually records the discussion after editing the reaction, because on Patreon, the first thing that always comes out is the full-length discussion, full-length reaction, and that reaction never has a discussion associated with it, and there's no real reason not to, right? Like for him, it would be just as easy because he wouldn't have to edit anything out if it's just like a full discussion, full like uncut discussion. But maybe he wants to like cut stuff out. I guess that's fair. But that way he would get like an additional pass through the footage, right? Like he'd be able to get more familiar with it and then record the discussion afterwards. I don't know. I could see either way, I guess, maybe. So does Film Buff take a break after reacting and write stuff down? Probably, yeah. No, I would probably rewatches and then write stuff down. Anyway, we're getting toward the end of the stream, all right? I'm getting tired. My voice is going low. What's more interesting? The old YouTube is going viral again, or is AI art actually considered art? You know what? I'll do a poll since it's been so long. How do I don't know if this is going to type poll in the chat or if it'll start a poll. Okay, just type poll. How to do a YouTube poll. YouTube live stream poll. Oh, just gotta press the poll button. Which video do I watch? The old YouTube... Jesus Christ. YouTube is going viral again. Is AI art actually considered art? What else is short? Heavenly Delusion was almost perfect. These are the options, right? Are you kidding me? I can't even do the poll? Wait. Alright, there we go. Vote for your option, guys, alright? We got 3 videos. You know, I'm engaging the chat here. We're gonna love this, alright? We got 1 vote for Heavenly Delusion was almost perfect. I wonder if that's by someone who's actually seen Heavenly Delusion. Because that would definitely Actually, I don't know if this is a spoiler video, but maybe, maybe not. Bin Bin Lay is here saying hi. Welcome. You made it to right at the end of the stream where we're watching one more video. So vote for your option in the poll. I just realized I didn't set like an end date for this poll, so it's just gonna keep going. We got 2 votes and they're both for Heavenly Illusion was almost perfect. So we'll wait another 30 seconds. I'll drink some water. All right. Looks like we're watching Heavenly Delusion was almost perfect. All right, so I'm going to give a general spoiler warning, which is that this probably talks about Heavenly Delusion, like plot stuff. I don't know. So be warned. If you care about plot spoilers for Heavenly Delusion, then go ahead. Oh my god, it actually puts the results in the chat. That's crazy. Anyway, let's watch this. I'm just interested in why it wasn't perfect. Like, why is it almost perfect?
Season 1 of Heavenly Delusion was really good. Almost perfect. The story is incredibly intriguing, the action is breathtaking, and each primary character in the ensemble cast was remarkable and well thought out. But for me, despite the incredible execution, there was one decision they made that I think overshadowed the rest.
Oh, wait. The one thing I do know about Heavenly Delusion, which I've learned after the fact, is that a lot of people have an issue with the rapist getting off free without dying, I guess, because he does get punished. Like, he gets brutally beat up, but he just doesn't die. Maybe that's a criticism? That's a pretty dumb criticism in my opinion, but...
My name is Pei, and today we're talking about how Heavenly Delusion was almost perfect. The show follows 2 separate storylines. The first follows Maru and Kiriko, 2 young and interesting characters who are exploring a post-apocalyptic world. During this exploration, they have...
You know what's funny? Yesterday, I was so close to just watching Heavenly Delusion again. I was like, you know what, why not just do a third? Like, let's just do a second rewatch, why not? But no, I didn't do it.
Runs in with a range of different people and monsters. Specifically, these monsters are called man-eaters. While the characters in the story don't understand where they came from very much, they know they're very dangerous and that they have all sorts of clever and terrifying ways in which they consume people. In a lot of ways, it's a very classic monster trope, but it's done pretty well. One of our main characters, Maru, has an ability to kill these monsters when other people don't.
Yeah, the Maru touch.
By touching them, he can access some core part of their spirit and kill them. He's a very skilled fighter, and we as the audience get to explore that in a couple remarkable different fight scenes against the monsters and other humans. This storyline is juxtaposed by a group of students, young and unaware of the outside world. These kids all seem to have a range of different otherworldly skills and talents. As the story continues, we see a range of different integration as we find out that the main 2 characters are looking for something called heaven with little to no information. So from the start, we're aware of the fact that these 2 storylines in some way are converging. Part of what makes this show work so well is how each storyline feels so unique to one another, and it's all built around great characters, world building, and plot decisions. So if I love this show so much...
Characters, world building, and plot. That's probably right, but also I think mystery is also a big element. Like maybe one of the 2 top like appeals is probably mystery. He Stole the Chainsaw Man was almost perfect title. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. We probably even reacted to something like that on stream that I just forgot about. The only criticism I've seen of the show was from manga readers who thought the rape ruined the series. Oh, okay. They were complaining on Reddit for weeks before the arc even started. Yeah, that is, I have also gone back now and looked at some of the Reddit threads. Oh no, I don't actually, in fairness, I think I've only looked at the finale one because I wanted to see, like, after I, like, have done all my digest stuff, is there stuff that I missed, like, from the, like, details that I, like, being pointed out that I just missed? But apparently it was, like, a big thing where people, like, manga readers were, like, hinting towards ideas and stuff, like, pretending to be anime onlys and, like, ruin, like, people, like, basically speculating. Like, I think people knew that the heaven stuff took place in the past before it was actually revealed, which is, like, a little bit of a shame to get that spoiled for you, you know? But yeah, the rape ruined the series. They were complaining on Reddit for weeks before the arc even started. The rape is, I think in my digest, I even said it's probably one of the 2 best things the show does. What was the other thing? I had, like, a specific thing I liked. I don't know. It's been a while. My criticism is the manga isn't over, so I can't be bothered starting it. True. No, Miller. Wait. Do you actually, I don't know if you're teasing me here, Miller, because in my digest, I did talk about how the manga, I'm not interested in the manga. Like, I think what appeals to me about Heavenly Delusion is the anime specifically. Like, I don't like the manga from the very little I've seen of it. But then someone, I think was it Seal Peeled or Heath or someone? They said something interesting about it. It's not an elite Ari, it's ordinary Ari. Whoa, the heck? Ordinary. All right. Oh my god, is my channel gone? Oh no, here. 69. Look at that. Well, hello. Who commented? Oh, it was Heath. When it comes to Heavenly Delusion, I trust the story and mysteries will stay intriguing. If anything, I'm worried. Oh no, this was a bit different. This was not what I'm talking about. If anything, I'm worried about the production staying at the same levels for future seasons. If there are any, at least. Also, the guy who directed episode 10 is Kai Ikarashi. True. And yeah, he directed the Edge Runners thing. No, that's not what I was thinking about. Did anyone actually... I'm not going to read these out in case they're like big spoilers, but... I would suggest waiting for a few months to give the manga another chance because I feel like you may have misjudged it. Yeah. So I was like, I read this and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I did misjudge it. Maybe I should give it a chance. Anyway. Isn't over, so I'm going to be starting it. Though they complained more about how it affected Kiriko, not about Robin's fate, and I assumed that's going to be in season 2. What I've seen, the one criticism I saw, which is like what I referenced earlier, is that people were complaining that, firstly, Robin got off like scot-free, like no, he didn't die basically, which you know, I think that's pretty dumb. The other thing people complained about is that Kiriko got, wait, is that her name, Kiriko? No, she like changed her name because they merged the brother and sister, right? The two names, but whatever her name is, she got over it too quickly or something, which I also completely disagree with. Like, I think the appeal of that entire like Robin scene is the fact that when she's in the moment, she can't process it because it's like a complete... I said this in my digest. I hate like repeating stuff like this, but it just completely reframes her interactions with Robin in the past. Like everything is reframed, and it's like so sad because she can't cope with it. She doesn't want him to die in that situation because she just can't accept what's happened in the past. And then she has time to reflect on it, and then it seems that she's moved past a bit. I don't know if she has. Yeah, I guess it would be like what he said, like, oh, I guess we'll see what happens in season 2. The manga has nudity. I have heard that it has nudity, which is weird. But the anime doesn't have nudity, but it has like, you can almost see like naked people, I guess. It's like got the censorship kind of nudity or whatever. So it has to be better by default. Damn, right. I don't know, actually. Because I generally prefer when violence... Actually, I almost universally prefer when violence isn't censored, which is one of the big appeals of the Heavenly Delusion anime. I don't know if I would like it as much if there was nudity in it. It's like, you don't need it in the story at all. I don't know.
Why is there one decision that seems to
anyway, what's this decision?
Overshadow everything else? Before answering that question, I want to talk about another show.
Oh, look at this. This has to be from that episode I'm talking about. Look how cool that looks. There was like episode 10 or whatever that Heath was pointing out. It was like, it just looks so good. And I assume this is probably from that, right? Because it just looks so cool. Anyway.
I want to talk about another show. I don't like Black Mirror very much. A lot of...
Oh my god, this guy's an idiot. Black Mirror, one of the greatest shows ever made. Oh my god.
People love the show, and that's very valid. However, one of my main criticisms is, as someone that gets very invested in media, sometimes it felt like Black Mirror chose to tell dark stories, and then there would be a moment where they pushed that darkness too far. Some people love shows like this, but for me, it always ended up resulting in a bit of an existential crisis.
It's definitely gonna be about the rape, I can tell. It's
almost like the writers didn't understand the magnitude of what they were writing. Now, some people might very fairly point out that this is the whole point of Black Mirror. What a ridiculous thing to criticize it for. And while at times I do think it feels very pseudo-intellectual...
Is he gonna give an example? Because I don't even know what he's talking about.
I don't think this is actually a fair criticism outside of the realm of, this is the reason I don't like it. It'd be like criticizing a horror movie for being scary. That's the whole point. But there's been this trend that these shocking dark moments tend to resonate emotionally with the audience. They stir a reaction. They're controversial. So a lot of shows have now adopted doing these extremely dark moments that result in this very jarring tonal mismatch. Heavenly Delusion is a dark show. It just felt like one scene was so much more extreme than the others.
What's the darkest scene, without question, it's not even close, has got to be when, massive spoilers by the way, the post-transplant scene, right? Where he's walking around in his sister's body. Like, it's like, that's the most disturbing, darkest scene in Heavenly Delusion, like by far. But I assume he's talking about the rape here, which like is disturbing, but I think the body thing is like even more disturbing because it's a complete violation of like someone else's body and your own like identity. Like, it's just disturbing.
Dark moments, even suddenly dark moments, are very common in anime.
But maybe he will talk about that scene. That'd be interesting.
And some of the most memorable scenes from some of our favorite shows were incredibly dark and almost out of nowhere. Part of the reason I think anime can get away with this is because of a term I use called medium-inspired suspension of disbelief. When the Looney Tunes show extreme violence, it doesn't feel so extreme because it's a cartoon. Or when I was a kid playing Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, and my parents were like, doesn't this feel really violent? I knew it wasn't akin to real violence because every single time I or someone else got shot in the game, we would respawn. This doesn't just apply to violence. Exaggerated actions like Naruto running or leaping from branch to branch feel realistic. Because in consuming an animated product, I think that our suspension of disbelief is expanded. But very often in anime, a scene accurately represents the horror of a situation. And much like my problem with Black Mirror, I can't help but being...
It's kind of an interesting analysis. Like the suspension of belief that's typical in anime, but sometimes it subverts it, or not subverts it, but goes further and makes it more realistic, and it's kind of has an effect on you. That's kind of interesting.
Incredibly invested, and as a byproduct, go through an almost existential dread that comes with the terrifying realization of the horribly violent or dark scene. Right, why was it almost perfect? After finishing the show, I felt a little crazy, so I decided to do some research online, and I found I wasn't the only person that had this issue with having
oh no, it is about the rape scene.
Delusion. To clarify, I loved this show. I will continue watching this show. I will suggest this show to other people, but not without an asterisk. Because after watching this show, and specifically one scene, I wish I'd been given a content warning. So if you want to hear that content warning...
We all know my stance on content warnings, alright? I find them absurd.
I'll say it in a second, but if you want to avoid any form of spoilers, even though this is a small spoiler, you can skip to this timestamp. Okay. In Heavenly Delusion, there's a very, very intense sexual assault scene. And an important clarification is while the scene was very dark, a lot of the violence was implied more than it was overtly shown, like previous controversial anime scenes like the one from Goblin Slayer. More so because of the magic system and established plot.
Wait, is there a rape in, like an explicitly shown rape in Goblin Slayer? That's crazy.
They took a very scary situation and made it way, way darker.
I've heard like Goblin Slayer has like something crazy going. I didn't know it was like a rape that they show. That's crazy.
It's really hard to watch, and I wished I'd been given some sort of warning. Okay, now that I'm done with that explanation and everyone's back, I'm not really in a place where I'm ready to say that it was a mistake to include this in the story. I do believe there are sensitive topics that should be treated with respect, but I also believe that scenes like this can be explored in a healthy and productive way. Actually, a lot of my issues with this scene can be reduced to two different factors: trope and necessity. While I don't want to necessarily deep dive too much into the scene, I do want to talk about a trope that I think is incredibly important to factor in, something that made this scene less consumable for me, context that I think is important. Just a quick heads up, there's going to be slight spoilers here, but I won't be revealing any specific plot points from the story. My biggest problem with this scene revolves
This is a crazy thing to like not give plot things for, but anyway.
Around a common trope called women in refrigerators. This trope criticizes the common occurrence in which violence against female characters is used primarily to serve another character's development, develop the plot, or give a character a
I mean, Kiriko isn't really female, right? Like that's like that's like a big part of the show. It's like she's not really a woman.
Badass revenge moment. I struggle a lot with this trope because I think it undermines intense violence. For me, haphazard use of this can really ruin a story. One of my main problems with this is it often feels super short-sighted, reducing or killing off a character that often is very interesting, simply in an attempt to prop up another, especially since it feels like lazy.
Well, okay, wait. Oh, I was just thinking, I think I missed all that because I was thinking about the woman thing, and it kind of is the point that she is a woman because she was like, because when the brother has the woman's body, he kind of does like it, like when he's kissing himself in the mirror or herself in the mirror or whatever. I don't know. It's interesting. There's probably some analysis you could make about that. Though they can, I read that. The manga, I read that already. I reckon this guy is a big Wild fan. Yeah, probably not. It's in like episode 1. What's in episode 1? The nudity? No, wait, Miller's talking about the nudity. The rape wasn't in episode 1, was it?
For me, haphazard use of this can really ruin a story. One of my main problems with this is it often feels super short-sighted, reducing or killing off a character that often...
Oh, of Goblin Slayer. Okay, alright. Wait,
that's revenge moment. I struggle a lot with this trope because I think it undermines intense violence.
Wait. We're going back a little bit. What is this trope? Women in the fridge or something? What does that even mean?
Something that made this scene less consumable for me. Context that I think is important. Just a quick heads up. There's going to be slight spoilers here, but I won't be revealing any specific plot points from the story. My biggest problem with this scene revolves around a common trope called women in refrigerators. This trope criticizes the common occurrence in which violence against female characters is used primarily to serve another character's development, develop the plot, or give a character a badass revenge moment. I struggle a lot with this trope because I think it undermines intense violence. For me...
Is he gonna say that Maru beating up Robin is a bad thing? Wait.
Haphazard use of this can really ruin a story. One of my main problems with this is it often feels super short-sighted, reducing or...
Because okay, but I have no idea if this is where he's going, but what happens in the scene is that Robin rapes Kiriko or whatever her name is. Then Maru comes to save her, and in the process, Maru corners Robin, the rapist guy, and beats him up. And maybe this person sees that as like a big triumphant Maru moment, or it's like Maru's coming in and saving the day, and that's the woman in the refrigerator or whatever, which is like the prop up a man by making a woman suffer. But the real appeal of that scene is when Kiriko comes out and tells Maru not to beat him up. That's like the emotional climax of the scene, because there she's just like so confused and sad and doesn't know what to do in this situation. That's the climax. I wonder if that's what he's going to say, or let's see.
Killing off a character that often is very interesting, simply in an attempt to prop up another, especially since it feels like lazy writing, because there's other ways to give characters their moment, which leads to my second point, necessity. I'm not sure that this decision was
Wait, is he going to explain the scene?
completely necessary, specifically
Or am I like missing it? He's talking about another scene?
Severity. I'm working from the perspective of the show-only viewer, so there's the possibility that later in the story it will make more sense, but based off of the information we have right now, I think this moment didn't need to be so dark to fill the same role in the story. And while they simply couldn't just change the situation without there suddenly becoming some plot holes and issues with the realism of the story, I do think that they could have set up the situation differently, maybe using the threats of violence rather than actual extreme violence, because I think the severity of the violence wasn't necessarily required to get the stakes and trauma that were probably important parts of telling the story. Writers get to choose any world to tell their story in and write any plot they want to, so when they choose to include something, it is a choice. And maybe the story will have an answer, some more significant reason as to why
when they choose something, it is a choice.
this all happened in Season 1. But I do think you can analyze seasons on their individual merit, and I think Season 1 of Heavenly Delusion ultimately ended with a bitter taste. I am captured by the story, I believe in the characters.
He's actually not going to describe it.
Selling me on so many different things. It's likely the reason I'm holding this to such a high standard. But this decision was hard for me. One I got stuck on, something that has overshadowed all the good in the weeks that have passed since I finished.
Is this an AI voice, or is this like a person?
The show. This experience might be unique to me. The whole point of this video was to explore why, despite so many parts I enjoyed, when I've talked to my roommates and friends about this show, this is what I've talked about. Part of this is probably the fact that I feel a little bit crazy. Maybe this scene didn't bother people in the same way it did me. But I love this show. I really want to talk about this show, but it feels like there wasn't a video I can make without talking.
This poor man here. Imagine if he watched Mushoku Tensei. What? He'd have nothing he could possibly say about the show.
Talking about this first, because for me, Heavenly Delusion was almost perfect.
I don't know if me like taking the tangents here and like pausing the video, maybe I missed him describing the scene he was talking about? Or did he literally just not describe the rape scene? And like, how did the fridge thing tie into anything? Like, either I was truly distracted and I missed it, or this was a really bad video. Interesting. I mean, I guess it's a small channel, that's fair. It's only got 3K views. I guess I'm being too harsh. I hate being harsh for small channels, but I think that was really bad. You know, let me just say, production-wise, I think it was a good video. The voice sounded good. Nothing took me out of the visuals, I guess. I wouldn't say the visuals really lined up too well or anything like that, but I think it's a finely made video, just like the actual script or whatever. I don't think there was anything to really take from this. I don't know. Like episode 1 of Goblin Slayer, well, this term doesn't apply unless the girl dies. The term fridging originates from when Green Lantern's girlfriend was killed and stuffed in a fridge. Oh my god. So dumb to just take all the nuance out and say that scene fitting into the fridging criteria makes it bad. Yeah, and I don't think it really fits into that if I was understanding correctly. Even if you forget the killing thing, hopefully I made a good defense of it, which is that it's not a Maru scene, it's definitely a Kiriko scene. But I guess I could see someone interpret it that way, maybe. Check if this guy has any Berserk videos. Yeah, maybe. Berserk is almost the greatest story ever told, but not quite. What if the live action is better than the anime?
Live action?
True. Oh my god. Why musicians love Bocchi the Rock. Will JJK Season 2 live up to the hype? Avatar's finale teaches us how to end a story. True, with a Deus Ex Machina, of course. Comparing the final fights in Avatar. I feel like I saw this as like a thumbnail somewhere. I don't think there's any Berserk ones. No. JJK, Avatar. Oh yeah, I have seen this. How to deal with an overpowered protagonist. I haven't seen the video, but I've seen this somewhere. Anyway. Well, we're not watching it, but anyway. When something bad happens to a woman and it motivates a man, it's automatically bad, Ari, didn't you know? Yeah, I guess that's the truth, isn't it? You know, we hate tropes because tropes are harmful. Holy shit, we need to watch this video now. You're probably right. You know, watch the beginning of it. I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm just triggered because I just saw that at the beginning there was the Cowboy Bebop thing, and I know he's gonna say the Cowboy Bebop thing is bad, and he's just wrong for that. So I don't know. Anyway,
live action adaptations of anime, especially in the West, have failed largely to capture the energy or magic that makes the shows they're adapting special. Until very recently, adaptations.
This poor guy needs to record high quality footage. He's just like me. This is me when I recorded my footage by, you know, screen recording, and it had all the compression artifacts.
Have a
and
long and
everything.
heated history of failing, whether or not it's the video game curse or your favorite book that was butchered. And at the top of the list of these unnecessarily bad shows are anime live-action adaptations. So how did we end up in a circumstance where arguably one of the hardest anime to adapt into live action was made into an outstanding show?
True, isn't that right, Miller? Oh
and
my
today we're talking
God.
about the surprising triumph of the One Piece live-action adaptation. One Piece is arguably one of the least approachable pieces of media I've ever tried to consume. Whether it's the anime that has over 1,000 episodes or the manga with 1,000 chapters, approaching One Piece is intimidating. It is a staggering mountain of content that feels impossible to catch up with.
Very
Yet
true.
if you have an opportunity to sit down with someone who's consumed a good portion of the story, you'll find that their admiration of it is almost cult-like. One Piece tends to hold a very special place in people's hearts. Most who have watched it hold it to an incredibly high standard. I enjoy anime a lot, so much that I even make videos about it online. Yet I still find myself having not watched One Piece in 2023, having given it a couple shots and been exposed
just like
to tons
me.
of periphery content. Yet despite my love for anime,
Grand Line Review, isn't that I don't know, I thought that was like the best guy ever thing? Probably not.
the overwhelming fan base, and the huge amount of praise and discussion online, the thing that eventually sold me on One Piece was its live-action adaptation. So after finishing the first
It's just like me. This is crazy. It's just like
season of
me.
the live-action show, I decided I wanted to make a video about it. I've seen a lot of people who've watched One Piece give their takes on live action, but it's hard for them to separate their expectations given consuming the show or the manga to the live-action adaptation.
Of that, I would love to be able to watch it with a fresh perspective. Because I feel like it's way easier to go from that to the manga rather than vice versa.
Yes, totally.
I had the unique opportunity to consume the story for the first time through the live-action adaptation. So I thought it'd be fun to look at the story through all three mediums in which it's been told: the live-action show, the anime, and the manga. So in the last 2 weeks, I've consumed 45 episodes of the anime and 100 chapters of the manga. Actually, since I started working on this video, I've consumed 118 episodes of the anime, but let's just pretend that hasn't happened yet. So today, the big question is, how did One Piece live action do something that I thought was almost impossible? Creating a remarkable live-action adaptation that was approachable for non-anime viewers, while tackling the overwhelming challenge of adapting the incredibly goofy and grandiose world of One Piece. If you were to ask me, or many other anime fans, what anime is at the top of the list of shows they think would be difficult to adapt into live action, I think many of us would say One Piece.
What's the actual answer? Mushoku Tensei? That's the answer.
Because not only is there incredible difficulty in translating what happens in the show into a live-action setting, but also there's a huge amount of expectations. One Piece fans love the show and manga, so when you're dealing with an IP that is so loved by the general public, you're working with a double-edged sword. Which leads to an important question for this video. Why do so many adaptations of media fail? Then more importantly, why did Netflix's One Piece live-action adaptation do such a good job breaking away from that trend? What did it do so well? So let's start first with that concept of expectations. Whenever you're adapting something, you're working with an already established fan base. However, a necessity of adaptation is making adjustments and changes, meaning you have to navigate making adjustments that both satisfy the old audience while also making sure to embrace the new medium in which you're telling a story. Because at the start of every major adaptation,
That's not true, right? Like, well, I guess it depends on how popular the thing is. Like, if you want something to succeed, you just want it to be good on its own merit. Because I feel like the majority, well, this could be wrong, but I feel like the majority of people who watch the One Piece live action probably haven't seen One Piece. Because I feel like the audience of Netflix is broader than just like anime fans. I feel like the anime fans are like a very niche part of Netflix, right? So I feel like if you want One Piece to succeed, it truly doesn't matter how accurate it is to One Piece, the original. I think all that matters is how good of a show it is on its own merit. I think that's all that matters.
comes the question of what to change and what to keep the same. Recently, my brother pointed me towards a Corridor Crew video where they talked about One Piece's live-action adaptation, and I think their argument perfectly encapsulates the exact opposite opinion I have about adaptation.
Here's my only criticism here. It's like, I see a really weird choice of like cinematography and direction and everything like that that screams the opposite of anime at me. Maybe it's following the same like narrative beats as a piece, but like it doesn't have any of that kineticism.
Feeling the story, I'm feeling the effects. I'm not feeling anything anime about this whatsoever. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not anime. This makes anime.
But Miller's saying it is bad. Anyway. Holy shit, we need to watch this video now. Yay, Lamau. Just go in order. 1, 2, 3. That's very true. Yeah. What an idiot. No, he's spitting truths right now.
Very special to me. And if you're gonna do an adaptation, you're not going to try to match the same intensity of like shot selection and composition. Like, it's a visual medium.
It's something I am very passionate about. You know, Nico and myself have made all these like anime live action videos, these anime rock, paper, scissors videos. So it's like trying to like hone in on the tone and shooting style, specifically balancing it when you're using real actors.
We've dedicated a good chunk of our professional careers to trying to do live action anime.
I strongly disagree with this perspective. I think consistently when people fail to make successful adaptations, it's because they try too desperately to hold on to things that they think made the original special. While you do need to stay true to the characters and story, too much of what works in anime won't work in a live action setting. If you emulate the original too closely, you will inevitably fail.
Why did he have the Cowboy Bebop on screen? I don't feel like that had anything where it's like, oh my god, they did it too closely. It ruined it.
It's a large part of what makes me dislike those live-action anime videos that Corridor Crew does make. They feel like this bastardized attempt of taking anime trope and...
Oh my god, it's like Shabes. That's what Shabes complains about, right? Like, they took the anime aesthetic, but didn't get the core of what anime is.
Bring it into a medium in which it doesn't work. And maybe with their videos, that's the whole point, to see if they can make it work, but it often feels out of touch, and to me, they miss the mark. But with Netflix, their goal was to make a good adaptation, something approachable for new viewers and those that love the IP. I think it would have been a huge mistake for the Netflix adaptation to emulate too closely anime's kineticism, the term that the Corridor Crew guys called it, because if they were to do do so, it would take an already borderline corny story and make it even more exaggerate and hard to consume. And I think this is historically a place where a lot of live-action anime adaptations have failed. Inherent for an adaptation to be worth it, you need the benefits of the new medium you're telling the story in to outweigh the deficit of losing the parts you love from the original medium. This requires a certain degree of change in the story. But one of the problems with making adjustments to a story is
Making a video like this is just so like vague. Like what does that even mean? Like benefits of live action greater than losing the best. How could you possibly quantify this? I don't know.
The parts you love from the original medium. This requires a certain degree of change in the story. But one of the problems with making adjustments to a story is it's very easy to lose sight of the core of what makes it special. Forgettable adaptations are no fun to watch, but those that make bad changes to the story are often seen in a terrible light, which is where Eiichiro Oda comes in. The original writer of the manga and the person most largely in control of the project, he was given ultimate veto powers when it came to Netflix's adaptation. This cascaded into all sorts of different aspects of One Piece's live action that worked. This is where we make our first...
Wait, did he veto anything? Do we know?
Comparison between the manga, anime, and show. When it comes to the casting, I was absolutely blown away, especially in retrospect, because when I first sat down to watch the show, I had very little reference outside of the online representation of the characters I vaguely knew. Luffy was likable and silly and maybe even a bit stupid. Zoro was a badass who used 3 swords, one of which went in his mouth, which for most of my life I thought was ridiculously stupid. But when I actually sat down to watch the live action and saw the group interacting with one another, I was blown away by how well the characters worked together. And this was consistent across all 3 mediums, watching the anime, reading the manga, and watching the live action. But this may be a controversial take. I think the best representation of the characters so far is in the live action.
He's just like me, but for the Cowboy Bebop thing. Oh my god.
I know for a lot of people that's going to be a pretty crazy thing to say. But to be fair, you probably watched more of the anime and read more of the manga. And I think that's going to influence a lot of people's perspectives because as good as One Piece is, it's really far from perfect, especially in the beginning. I think independent of some of the changes that the live action made to this.
How is he going to argue this in the next 3 minutes? That the characters are better in the live action than the anime? Or did he say anime or manga? I think he said anime.
Story that people had issues with. I do think the characters in the live action are definitely better than the anime and in a lot of ways better than the manga. And I think a big part of that was Oda's ability to look in retrospect. When working on the live action adaptation, he had the benefit of being able to know where everyone ends up after 1,000 episodes, maybe even more. I imagine he has a lot of the story already figured out. So moments that felt clumsier in the anime and manga were condensed and felt a little bit smoother to me in the live action version. Things like introducing Nami and Zoro in conjunction, immediately jumping into character dynamics and banter that took a lot longer for the anime and manga to get to. Something to know about any running series that's lasted as long as One Piece has is that it has to some degree be discovery written. You can't bullet point out the entire story. Oda had to figure it out as he went. Maybe he knew where the story would go or where it eventually will end, but a large part of his writing had to have been just figuring it out as he goes. But ultimately what I think the live action did faster than the manga and anime is create characters with depth. And I don't think that's a criticism of the anime and manga. It honestly is pretty easy for me, a 25-year-old adult revisiting a story that was originally written in 1997, to forget the fact that the target audience for this story was children. It's a cartoon. I just preached about how important it is to embrace the medium in which you're telling a story, and embracing the type of story you're trying to tell is as important. In a lot of ways, I prefer the live action. But a big reason for that is because I think I'm more in the target audience for the live action than I am the anime that was originally released in the late 90s. Because the One Piece live action is doing what I think ultimately makes for a good adaptation, walking the fine line between holding on to the things that make the story special while also embracing its new medium. Because while the live action felt true to the story I've read and now consumed in the anime, I think the tone is drastic.
This guy's videos, he needs like way more examples for the claims he makes. I just like... Did he talk about a single character and why it's better? And now he's like talking about like, I don't even know. He needs examples.
In anime and manga, there's this thing I call magnitude translation loss. When we watch the Looney Tunes and see an anvil fall on one of their heads, it's less concerning than if we were to see an anvil fall on a live action character's head. The medium in which we consume a piece of media influences our suspension of disbelief. I think that voices itself in the way the characters are written. Luffy's given a little bit more agency in the way he approaches things. He stumbles into things less, but he's still the same character that's so likable in the anime and manga, someone that is kind and compassionate, incredibly rebellious, and values people's passions and dreams above almost anything else. But I'm also working off of a lot of limited information. I think anyone who's caught up on the show might have a completely different perspective than I do. In the anime, I'm coming up on the end of Alabasta, and in the manga, I've only read through Arlong Park. Because if I had to simplify what made this show work into 3 points, I would say first, it embraced the medium and type of story it was trying to tell. Second, it respected that story, working with the original creator, giving him ultimate veto powers.
This is such a silly point.
And keeping what they could while letting go of what they couldn't make work. And third, finally,
like just because I don't even know how to say this, but like the creator made the manga because they like making manga and they're good at making manga. That says nothing about how good they are at making anime or how good they would be at making a live action thing, right? Like who knows if their decisions would be good decisions. Like
there was just good execution. I enjoyed the costumes, set design, acting, writing, and overall the product itself. It was far from perfect, but for me it worked really well. I actually think I could go through episode by episode and find unique, interesting topics to talk about, especially given the fact that I just consumed the exact same story 3 times in a row. Mind you, a story that is infamous for bad pacing, but one also famous for special moments. There's a reason the season ended with Arlong Park. There's a reason for a lot of things. But of all the potential topics, the first thing I realized was that in a sea of failed adaptations, One Piece did more than good. It was great.
It's an okay video. It wasn't too bad. Just, yeah, you need way more examples. The point he made about how the show has the retrospect of knowing what happens later in the manga, I feel like you need a lot, like you need to show what they changed to kind of do that. The one thing he talked about was about Luffy, but I don't know, I just didn't, nothing stuck out to me. I don't know. Anyway, what did Miller say about this? What an idiot. Live action Bebop and One Piece look exactly the same. No, Bebop looked way better. It was so like, so many different locations and every episode felt like self-contained in a new place. Like, it was so cool. One Piece, the live action feels like 3 arcs. Like you just got like 3 mini arcs like patched together. 0 examples so far, true. Ultimate veto powers. It's confirmed he didn't want Garp in it. Oh. Unbelievable. That's crazy. This is plain wrong saying Oda is making these calls. Yeah, I think he's just saying things, you know, as people do in video essays. They just say things. Like Mappa, you know, the Mappa CEO is making everyone sign NDAs. Oh my god, it's proof. Or One Punch Man is being done by Mappa. I can definitively prove the live action has all the depth stripped out. Oh, I'm sure. Well, now the same Looney Tunes example in both videos. I didn't even notice. Was that in... No, I thought that he did that at the beginning of the video or the end of the video, but was that the same... Did he actually use that in the other video? He's creating his own terminology in like in the Pay Talks anime cinematic universe. That's great. I love it. God, I should do something like that. I guess it's like Kyle Entertainment if you kept talking about the miscellaneous insert shot or whatever, right? Yeah, bro, the One Piece manga is famous for bad pacing. What world are you living in? Actually, I think he talked about the anime, right? The anime having bad pacing. One Piece having bad pacing is anime only, see? And anime and happens like 700 episodes in. Jesus Christ. Well, if you guys are so passionate about this, you could leave a comment down below. I'm sure he'd read it.
Live action adaptations of anime, especially in the...
It's a small channel, you know, he's got 22 comments here. He almost certainly would read it, but it looks like he doesn't engage with the comments though. He's just like me. Oh no, he's got this. Please, bro, don't say you're old at 25. True. I don't think I'm very old, but every young person in my life treats me like I have 1 foot in the grave. Crazy. Then he replied here, wait, what? The whole point of this video is that after the live action, I read the manga and watched the anime through Arlong Park. I really believe the live action was the best version of all 3. You know what? I respect him for making such a bold claim, which is almost undeniably going to get a lot of criticism. Anyway, oh, he had 2K subs at the time. Anyway, this is the end of the stream. It's one of the longest streams in quite a while. It's getting late. It's 4:30 a.m. I'm glad we watched a Heavenly Delusion video and a One Piece video. Aspect ratio video. The Acolyte video. Talked about JJK. Crazy. Am I right? Anyway. Who knows when I'll stream next? I have a busy next few days. I committed to getting a video done pretty soon, so I'll probably be working on that instead of streaming. But anyway. Thanks for coming. See you next time. And I just saw that Miller just was about to end it. Watch One Piece before next stream. Okay, wait, what's happened with this One Piece thing? Am I actually going to watch One Piece? No, I'm definitely not. I mean, I could, like, I'm just thinking, like, it would be interesting. I feel like if I ever did One Piece, I'd have to make some content out of it. I don't know what it would be. If it would be like a daily stream and then maybe I like stitch all the videos together into like one long video thing where I like discuss it. I don't know. But no, maybe, you know, well, it's not out of the realm of possibility that I will watch One Piece eventually, right? I've already stated this somewhere. I think I've said this before. Like, I truly, I don't know about the manga. Maybe I would have to, like, watch the anime, and then maybe if that convinced me, I could, like, read the manga or something. But, we'll see. We'll see, all right? It's not completely out of the realm of possibility. You know, the One Piece live action, it might have the one benefit of getting me to actually watch the anime. It did get me to watch those, movies you recommended, Miller. And one of them was really good. One of them was pretty good. Anyway, no more distractions. Thanks for watching. See you who knows when.